All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the stream. Welcome. If you're new, thank you guys so much for joining me today. And thank you for waiting for the intro to finish up there. Just want to let you guys know from the start that I am kind of under the weather. I'm sick with something, some kind of virus. Who knows what it is? I feel like it's always something every other week. So I am sick, but I did take some medicine to help me feel better. So hopefully I'll be okay throughout the stream. But yeah, if I sound a little bit different, if I sound a little bit nasally, this is why. What's up, Corey? Pragmatic Cat, IP Gaming. What's up, guys? The T virus. Yeah, hopefully not the T virus. I need to eat more oranges. Apparently I need to eat more carrots. That's what I heard. Carrots are the way to go. But I do have clementines. I ate one or two of those the other day. But yeah, it's just a virus. It's got to pass on its own. But I just have to give you guys that heads up just in case, like, if I seem at all different today than I normally do. That might be why, but we're going to find out. So yeah, let me first read a super chat from New Soul 9. He says, MBG, are you going to play Dragon's Dogma 2 yet? Or did you play Dragon's Dogma 2 yet? It's pretty polished. No, I haven't got around to it. I don't know when I'm going to get around to playing Dragon's Dogma 2. Stellar Blade is coming out tomorrow. So it's like one of these things where, again, this is just the way it's been, where every month there's one or two game releases. And I feel like I got to kind of make a decision. For the month of April, the decision has already been made. It's going to be Stellar Blade, especially after what I've been reading in the reviews. It sounds pretty good. It sounds pretty good. We're going to talk about Stellar Blade today, so appreciate the super chat, New Soul 9. Let me give you guys a quick rundown of the topics that I'm planning to go over with you today. So first, we're going to be talking about Stellar Blade. Stellar Blade is coming out tomorrow. The reviews just released yesterday. And, I just kind of want to talk about how it seems like Sony has released yet another solid PS5 title that, obviously everybody's going to have their opinion on, but it seems generally speaking, it's another quality AAA release from Sony. And, you got to give credit where it's due here. Sony's been doing, I think, a very good job at ensuring that, at least up till this point, they've had multiple releases for anybody who is invested in the PS5. Like, may not be your cup of tea, but hey, it's something, right? And Stellar Blade seems like, again, it seems like it might be the biggest of all the games. Maybe, I don't know, maybe outside of like Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. But we're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about something that I kind of noticed no one is talking about. It's kind of interesting to me. We're going to be talking about how apparently we are learning that Sony is targeting 4K 60 FPS in Unreal Engine 5. I feel like this is a pretty relevant discussion because for the past, I don't know, I'd say 3 weeks, there's been some discussion surrounding Unreal Engine 5. More specifically, how can it perform in in the future going forward? What can we expect performance-wise from Unreal Engine 5 on console? And we have our first evidence that has presented itself that Sony is actually going to be striving to hit 4K 60 FPS in Unreal Engine 5. I don't think that Sony has a lot of Unreal Engine 5 games currently in development in their studios, but there's at least one, and this is apparently what they're striving for. So we'll talk about that. We're also going to be talking about, we actually have just a general update to Unreal Engine. Unreal Engine 5.4 offering improvements to 60 FPS performance, shader compilation. We'll talk about that. We have another report here about the PS5 Pro we're going to go over. We're talking about Media Molecule, how they're working on a new IP. We're talking about Project Awakening. Did not think this is a game we would be talking about, but yet here we are. And we'll also, towards the end of the stream, talk about this new PS5 Community Game Help update, which I think is very interesting. I think it's kind of going, again, underreported. Like not a lot of people, I think, realizing what this update's actually going to allow for. But But yeah, guys, before we dive into any of these topics, I want to just let you know that there are a couple of ways you can help support the channel. First off, thank you to everybody who watches live, and thank you to everybody who watches later on. If you can't watch it live, hit that like button. It really helps the streams and the channel more than you know. 3 ways you can help support the content directly. I do rely on you guys to be able to do this here on the channel. Become a channel member, gain access to some exclusive perks. I cannot guarantee a members lounge today, unfortunately, because I am sick. Like, I literally can feel myself sweating. So it's like, we'll see how far I can take the stream. If I'm feeling up to it, I'll certainly do one. But either way, you do get access to the members lounge. We've done plenty of members lounge episodes. You can, if you do opt in to become a member, you gain access to those. Consider gifting some memberships. If you are already a channel member, it's a big thing we do here. Really helps the channel. And last but certainly not least, consider donating a super chat. Super chats help a lot. You can ask a question, give an opinion. You know the deal. So thank you to everybody who supports the channel directly. Wouldn't be able to do this without that support. We have the Leninator FFC, a member for 9 months, saying, "Hey, MBG, hope all is well. Keep up that great work." Yeah, well, things are going all right. You know, again, it's just, I'm a little bit annoyed that I'm sick again. I thought I was kind of over this phase where I was like done getting sick for the winter, but I guess I gotta go through it one more time here. But other than that, I'm doing okay, and I appreciate it. Appreciate the support, man. I'll do my best to keep up the content output. How's my vitamin D? I mean, I've been getting some sun, so no, it's the way it goes, dude. Like, it's a virus. There's nothing I can do about it. It's what happens when you choose to socialize at all or interact with other human beings. You just might pick up a virus, Chicken noodle soup actually sounds good. But all right, let's start with the first topic of conversation here. Stellar Blade. So the reviews are out. Stellar Blade is sitting at an 82 on Metacritic. And to me, that's a pretty solid score. Maybe a little bit lower than maybe what some people were expecting, but that's about what maybe I was expecting. And generally speaking, it seems like one of the most impressive aspects of Stellar Blade, well, there are a couple. Number one, it seems as though people are very impressed by how good the combat is and how good, just generally speaking, the game actually feels to play. It seems another aspect to Stellar Blade that is very much impressing people is the performance. I actually have a write-up here from PlayStation Lifestyle. It says, Shift Up's PS5 exclusive Stellar Blade released to positive reviews and has earned high praise for its performance and polish. Tech experts at Digital Foundry tested the game and found that it's a refreshingly proper, complete, polished experience with fun gameplay reminiscent of the legendary PlayStation 2 era. First revealed as Project Eve, Stellar Blade was an ambitious endeavor that many wondered if Shift Up would be able to pull off. The developer managed to achieve that feat, with the game selling for a Metacritic average of 82 after 110 critic reviews. Nearly every review praised Stellar Blade for its bug-free performance and fluid gameplay. Digital Foundry delved deep into Stellar Blade's technical performance and confirmed that it's completely polished and delivers stable gameplay throughout. Any issues are so negligible that you won't really notice them. A brand new game that echoes some of the design choices and experimentation of a bygone era, combined with excellent visuals and brilliant levels of polish, makes Stellar Blade a winner. This is what Digital Foundry's John Linneman wrote. And so he also added that he's impressed by Shift Up offering a stable 60 FPS without any stuttering. And he also said that Stellar Blade's image quality sometimes actually exceeds the native 4K option. So this to me is some very high praise that Stellar Blade is getting. I feel like there's been a heavy focus the past couple of weeks, maybe even the past couple of months, on performance and how some of these games are performing on these consoles. And we know that there have been quite a few AAA releases where the games that, it's not that the games are bad, it's just they're not optimized enough, right? Especially for the console and PC. We've seen this multiple times. Sometimes it's actually usually worse on PC, but console can suffer as well. And so it's something that I think is absolutely worth praising Shift Up for here, where they made sure that when this game dropped, people can have any criticism they want with like the story or whatever, but one thing you will not be able to criticize is, that it's buggy or it's not running properly or it has performance issues. And that's very nice. I think that, other development teams should maybe take notes here, where it's like, look, this is their first time making a big AAA console game, and they can release this game with like no bugs, an ultra amount of polish. So if Shift Up can do it, what's the excuse for all of these other more established AAA teams? I don't think there is an excuse. So hopefully it's a sign of what's to come. Hopefully other developers are going to feel a certain way about this. Be like, look, if they could do it, we should be able to do it too. But yeah, the Stellar Blade reviews, look, there's always going to be some drama. And of course, with the release of Stellar Blade, there's some drama. And I'm not going to delve into that because I have seen people, I'm seeing that situation occur once again where people are feeling like the game is being gypped or something, or it's being treated unfairly. And, there's some review outlets that are kind of, they're not being fair about it, or they're docking points for whatever. And here's my take on this. I've been covering video games long enough to know that this is always going to happen with everything. Like it's just, no matter how well or poorly a game is reviewed, there's always going to be a certain vocal group of people that are going to say something that it's just like, okay. I don't think most people feel this way. And yeah, like it just kind of feels like they're wasting their breath a little bit. You know what I mean? Where it's like, what is the point here? What is the point of like freaking out about this? And we have Corey, the Legend Landiga, coming in hot here, dropping a 20 bomb on you guys out of nowhere, getting us started in a huge way. Corey, dude.
Holy shit.
Sorry if that echoed, but Corey comes in and drops 20 membership gifts for you guys just like that. The goal today is set to 25. So Corey just basically single-handedly got us most of the way there. You love to see it. Really appreciate that support, Corey. It means a lot, dude. It does, especially during times like this when I know things are a little bit slower and not as exciting. So it really appreciate it, dude. And then we have Hellbound 1981, and I see Hellbound has his 12-month member badge. Finally gets it. Love to see it, dude. He drops another 5 bomb on us. And just like that, between Corey, the Legend Landiga, and Hellbound, these guys just crushed 25 members. And you know what that means. It means soon. Can't do it yet, but soon we're going to have to bring Boss in here and feed the beast. I would bring him in now, but I have like a little humidifier thing set up here, and I at least need to wait till that's not filled up. Like it just runs out, because he will knock that shit over. But Hellbound, really appreciate that. You guys just ensured that we will bring Boss in at some point over the course of the stream. I won't wait till the very end. I'll do it sooner than that. But I at least want to get through some of these topics. And yeah, just once again, want to extend a massive thank you to you guys for continuing to support this community, continuing to support the memberships and growing that membership community. It means a lot.
It's dangerous to rely on
I put Mark Cerny in the thumbnail, so, you know. But yeah, you guys crushed it. Let me update this goal. We'll continue our conversation. I see that it's still kind of going here. So yeah, it's just a little bit disappointing to me. Like, of course, is it disappointing to see that Stellar Blade is not sitting at like a 93 or something? Yeah, it's a little bit disappointing. Like you would hope to see a game review as well as it possibly could, but it's like, look, man, they are at the end of the day just other people's opinions. And if there's something that I've learned about Stellar Blade is that, man, people have a lot of weird opinions, truthfully. And as I'm continuing to talk about Stellar Blade, we have Matt Fu coming in, not playing around today. You guys are not messing around. Matt Fu comes in and drops another 20 bomb. a second 20 bomb before I could even update the member goal. It says we're sitting at 0, but we are actually sitting at 45 members gifted. You guys are insane. Matt,
Holy shit.
thank you so much for that, dude. Yeah, I'm shocked. We're already at 45 members. You guys are insane. I'm going to update that member goal in a moment here. We're just 5 away from crushing a second goal. You guys, yeah. Early membership train going today. Really, really appreciate that. Seriously. Very unexpected. I never know what to expect sometimes when there aren't spicy topics or big things going on. And I'm just trying my best to keep the news flowing, you know, to keep the content flowing. And you guys still come in and show such incredible support. And as I'm saying that, we have Toolman55 taking us over the 50 mark, getting us to the 50 mark. And Corey Landiga drops another 5, taking us past 50. We are now, just like that, sitting at 55 members, guys. 55 members gifted. Not even a half hour into the show. Incredible. This community is amazing. Thank you so much for that, guys. Seriously. And yeah, just a reminder, I'll try to continue to tell people this. If you are new here, we do get some new viewers in here sometimes. Make sure you click any of the gift icons at the top of the chat so you can opt in to receive a membership gift. We have a lot of very generous people here showing a lot of support to this community. Love to see it, man. All right, let me see if this is it's still all right. It's still running down the names of the people that got gifted. I'm trying to get better at not interrupting that, by the way. I feel bad because in the past I've like interrupted. I know people like to see their names come up on the screen when they're getting a membership gift. So let me see if that's done and I'll update that and we'll continue our conversation. It's still going. It's still going. So just give me a moment here. Let me read these super chats. We have RJ coming in with a $5 super chat saying, has been funny to see all the culture warriors say the woke critics were going to hate the game, and the majority have said that the game is good to great. Yeah, I get what you're saying, RJ. If there's something that I've become aware of, especially now that the reviews are out, is it does seem like there's a certain group of people that have tried to, in a way, artificially prop up a game like Stellar Blade. And that's why I've tried to, like, look, I have my own feelings on these things, as you guys know. And I've expressed those feelings, but I don't consider myself an extremist by any means. The way I see it is it's just like, look, my problem lies mostly with those who are, I think, missing the main point. And the main point is that Stellar Blade, first and foremost, is a very good video game, right? Like, sure, you could hyper focus on the way Eve looks and the developer's decision, you know, to make her look the way they do and have all these interesting looking outfits. But, you know, there was this kind of expectation, like you're saying, from the crowd that was saying like, oh, dude, this game's going to tank because of all the woke journalists. And like, don't get me wrong, there are journalists out there, certainly, that are not fair, where they're just too agenda driven. But from what I can see, I agree. Like, I was scrolling through the reviews and I really didn't see many reviews or journalists docking points because of the way Eve's character looks, or at least if they did, they didn't make it obvious. They didn't make it known. And that to me is good because I can understand like where the concern comes from. Like, again, we think back to a game like Days Gone, right? And Days Gone, that was very much a situation where, you know, there were, I guess, what you could call woke journalists or reviewers, like just straight up making it known, like, yeah, we're docking points because of the way, you know, because of Deacon St. John and the way he looks, and, you know, this game being too, you know, not being like diverse enough and stuff like that. And it's understandable why some people would be a little bit worried. But if there's something, again, that I have noticed is that there's a lot of yelling, like metaphor. I mean, I guess there's actual literal yelling going on, but metaphorically speaking, on the viewing the internet and seeing the arguments, there's a lot of yelling. There's a lot of back and forth, and it really starts to feel like it all blurs together. Where it's like, guys, I feel like the more aggressive you try to win the argument, like the more aggressive you get with it, the more your point just kind of becomes null and void. And if not null and void, it just gets lost in this kind of like, again, in these giant echo chambers of just like, wait, what's the problem again? And so my feeling on Stellar Blade is I don't think there's anything wrong with Shift Up saying, hey, we want to make the main character a very beautiful, sexy woman, and we're going to base her body off of an actual real life model. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But at the same time, I also am not one of these people where, like, look, if a developer says we want to make our character just look totally bland and average, I'm not going to screech about that. The only time I feel like I would ever point something out is kind of like with Spider-Man 2, where it's like, you guys did change Mary Jane. What's up with that? But if that's how Mary Jane looked from the beginning, I probably wouldn't have even noticed and just be like, oh yeah, that's just how they made her look. The only time I really notice is if there seems to be some kind of like last minute alteration or changing something retroactively. Like, to me, that's always a little bit strange. It would be like if the developer like put out a patch for Stellar Blade where it's like suddenly, her chest isn't as big anymore or something like that. I saw people freaking out about that with like Pokemon or something, where I think the studio that makes Pokemon or some kind of Pokemon mobile game, like they changed the way the characters look, and people were like, what the hell, dude? Like, it was very strange. I didn't look too deeply into it, but to be honest with you, RJ, I'm just very tired. I am. I'm very tired. I'm tired of all these constant conversations and arguments. And oh man, I should have brought tissues in here or something. If I stop talking abruptly for a couple seconds at a time, it's just because I'm trying to figure out if I'm going to sneeze or not. Okay, I think I'm good. I'm just getting very tired of all the arguments where it's like, just put your money where your mouth is. That's all. I really feel like now more than ever, the easiest way to send the message to any company, to any publisher of any kind, is either give them your money or don't. Because at the end of the day, that's really the only language they understand. That's the only thing that's going to truly make a difference. You can be as vocal as you want online, and I don't necessarily think there's anything wrong with that. But I think not enough people have enough foresight to just realize that, people are going to make their own decisions with their money. It's easy for somebody to agree with a comment online or agree with an opinion that they come across online, but then do something completely different in their everyday life. And I think that's kind of the problem, where just give your thoughts and then put your money where your mouth is. That's all. Or save your money. You know what I mean? Speak with your wallet, as they say. We have Michael Lynch here with a super chat saying, hold on. He says, the game unlocks tonight at 11. Can't wait for Stellar Blade. Gonna take a nap later so I can play late. Hey, what do you want? I'm 48. No, that's smart, man. Yeah, I'm excited to play it, but you know what something I've always hated about like covering newly released video games. It's not that I hate it, but it's just something that I felt. It's that like there are so many people who have already played it that have reviewed it, and it's just so weird to me to see people like I've 100%ed I almost said Stellar Blade, and I'm like, dude, this game isn't even out yet. It just you know what I mean? It creates a real sense of FOMO, right? Like, oh man, I'm behind and I need to like quickly play the game and beat the game. And I've always kind of got that sense with newly released games, especially when paying attention to all the reviews. And it's one of the reasons why I've tried, maybe I failed, but I try my best to not hyper focus on reviews and pay too much attention to what people are saying, because I'm just looking at it as, hey man, I just want to enjoy the game at my own pace, and I want to experience everything on my own, and I don't want to feel, I guess what I'm trying to say in a more zoomed out way here is sometimes the conversations that surround video games can actually feel like they're getting in the way of just playing and enjoying the video games, if that makes sense. Not all the time, but sometimes, especially at the launch of a video game and when the reviews come out. But I'm glad to hear that, Michael. I hope you enjoy the game. You're going to be playing it tonight when it releases. You're taking a nap to prepare. That's the way to go about it, dude. We have Kendall Fire 22 here saying, does the hard R situation with Stellar Blade impact your view on DEI consultancy? It's a good question. Yeah, I saw what was going on with this hard R situation, and I'm gonna be totally blunt here, and maybe I'll offend some people, but it is what it is. I'm just here to be genuine and be honest and give you guys my honest thoughts. And so, I just feel like people cry about everything. Like, honestly, I do. I feel like it's like, dude, I would have never, ever noticed this. Ever. That's just a fact. Like, I would have never, while playing this game, noticed that, let alone sit there and stare at it and be like, yo, that says hard R. Like, no, I would be playing the game and enjoying it. And this is just one of those situations where I feel like people just try to find anything and everything to throw a fit about, to create some kind of drama, to convince people that there's some kind of extreme, malicious ill will here and intent. And I'm just like, dude, who even noticed this to begin with? So look, if there's somebody out there that's upset about that, okay, I don't care. I'm not going to sit here and even remotely pretend to give a single shit about some graffiti on a wall next to a shop logo and try to turn it into some racial thing. Like, this is exactly what I mean, man, where it's just like, why? Like, why does everything have to be like some kind of racially driven fucking problem? It's like, I don't know. That's my opinion on it, man. Like, I think it's funny in a way, like not what it's actually saying. I think it's funny to see how much controversy something so silly controversy. It's like, really, dude? Like, we can't just. But yeah, I did see that Sony immediately bent the knee. Sony was immediately like, oh, we're so sorry. We're going to patch it out. And then I will say, though, it doesn't help. And this is the one thing I will add to this, is that you do got to and this to me is like, all right, listen, you guys are you're either actually trolling now, which is funny. I have to admit, it is funny if they're trolling, because it's like, you guys are ridiculous, bro. Or you just genuinely don't know. But they replaced the word hard with crime. So it went from hard R to saying crimer. And if you look up what the term crimer means, you can see how it's like, all right, this is either they genuinely don't know, and they're like, wow, we actually made another mistake while trying to fix what was seemingly a mistake that people noticed. It's either that, or they're just genuinely trolling. But if I had to guess, I'm going to assume that the developers of Stellar Blade did not try to sneak in some kind of racist, moniker here or something, or insinuation. I'm going to assume that they didn't purposely do that, because it seems so out of left field and ridiculous and nonsensical that it's like, what? But yeah, Sony like immediately addressed that. And does it but Kendall Fire, to get back to what you're saying, like, does it you're asking me, does it impact my view on the DEI consultancy, such as like with places like Sweet Baby Inc.? It doesn't, man. It doesn't, because like that to me is kind of the problem, right? Like generally speaking, where it's like, oh man, look at what they did in this game. They're racist. They're actively, purposely, maliciously racist. And it's like, probably not. Probably not. It seems like it was just a genuine like mistake where nobody even realized that that was a thing. And they went and they fixed it. Although I'm telling you, they're probably going to have to fix it again because they put the word crime there. My whole thing is just remove the graffiti in general. Problem solved. But I just want to say that, yeah, to me, something like that doesn't warrant, like, oh, we need these consultancy firms to make sure things like this don't happen. It's like, if people stopped freaking out over dumb shit all the time, problem solved. I mean, who's honestly offended by that? I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but I think that's it. Like, you're insane. I'm sorry. I think you're insane if you see something like that where it's very obvious it was not intentional and you're genuinely offended. Like, you genuinely like, wow. It's to me, that's the whole thing. It's something like that is propped up and highlighted in the name of internet drama and certain sides trying to gain any type of leverage they can. That's how I view it. Exactly. It's a clown world we live in, bro. It's a 3-ring circus, and I genuinely was flabbergasted when I went on Twitter and I saw Hard R was trending. And at first, I didn't pay attention to it until I came across something on my feed where it showed that. And I was like, oh my God, like, this is why Hard R is trending on Twitter? This is why? That's insane. So, what I'm curious to know is if they're going to fix it a second time, because people were kind of pointing out, like, I don't think you guys fixed it properly. But, I don't know. Stellar Blade seems a little bit cursed in a way, you know what I mean? It seems like Stellar Blade is a little bit cursed where no matter what, there's just going to be something surrounding this game that people are going to try to create drama around. And that's the feeling I'm getting, and I'm just like, you know what, man? I just want to buy the game and play and enjoy it because it seems good. That's all. You're saying I thought Hard R meant the rating for a movie. That in that context, that is what hard R, like a hard R rating. That is what that means. But it has another meaning as well, which I'm not going to explain to you, but you could look it up if you want. Corey's like, calm down, jabronis. None of this is real. That's the funniest part about it. It's like, what is real anymore, dude? Oh man, I cannot believe I'm sick again. I'm sorry. I'm just so disappointed at being sick again. Yeah, I just want to play some dope games, man. I'm tired of having to think so hard about everything. Can we just enjoy stuff? That's interesting. Josh, you're saying Shift Up is a Korean studio, right? There is an ongoing gender war in the Korean gacha game space, so I wouldn't rule out that something intentional is happening. Fascinating. I would never know. I'd never know. Well, I don't know, man. Sony put out like a statement and they said it was unintentional. And I believe them, dude. You know, it's hard for me not to believe that because it's like, but you know why it's hard for me to look at that and be like, you're lying, is because, like, dude, if you were somebody who was trying to sneak something in there, you got to do better than that. Like, you know what I mean? It's in a way, it is like, I'm not saying it's so, I would have never noticed it, but I'm just saying it's like, if I was that game developer where I was looking at that wall, and again, this is just assuming the worst in people where it's like, I'm going to send a message. It's like, this is the way you're going to do it, bro. Like, someone's going to see that and like, you're going to get called out for it. Like, very obviously. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like it would have to be something a little bit more sneaky than that. But I don't know. Who knows anymore, dude? Who knows anymore? Capone's asking the real questions here. MBG, just Google it. I'm not saying it's right, but you can't tell me you wouldn't notice that. It was talked about on Kind of Funny Games yesterday. I mean, look, man, if I'm playing devil's advocate here, I'm not saying it's not possible. I'm just saying I don't fucking care. Like, to just put it simply, I don't care. You know, like, I'm so tired of everybody thinking that it's like everybody. I'm going to keep this short and sweet. Everybody believes they're righteous. Everybody has some sense of self-righteousness, and they truly believe that, like, if they do this thing, whether it be on the internet or even in real life, like, I'm going to make such a big difference. It's like, dude, no one fucking cares. I'm sorry. Like, normal people are not walking around every day thinking they're fucking superheroes that are going to save the planet and solve all these worldly problems. And in fact, the people who are actually making the biggest difference, they probably don't even have that mentality. You know? I'm just tired of seeing all these types of people where it's like they just believe they're doing God's work all the time. And it's like, you're just annoying. Like, you're incessantly annoying, and most people probably just want you to go away or shut up, you know? Just let people enjoy things. Just let people have fun. And that's why I'm off of Twitter now. Because, I mean, I still go on occasionally, but that's why I got off Twitter. Because I realized all Twitter is, most of these social media sites, all they really are, it's just miserable people who don't want to be happy, who feel like they're gonna go around finding the problems with everything, and they think that if they point them out online, it's just going to solve those problems. And if they get into arguments with other people online, they're solving problems. It's like, you're not doing anything. You just saw smoke. I have a humidifier. My PC's catching fire, bro. My PC's catching fire. So that's all. I don't mean to sound, maybe it's because I'm a little bit irritable today because I'm sick, but I'm just so tired, man, of everybody crying about everything all the fucking time. And now I'm crying about the crying. So I'm going to stop crying myself and move on. And I just want to enjoy things, man. That's all. I just want to be happy and enjoy things. I'm not saying I want to be ignorant to problems and pretend like no problems exist. No, but I'm just saying, it's like, look, man, I'm going to worry about my corner of the planet and the world, my own little space here. And the reality for me is Stellar Blade looks like a fucking great game. And if somebody comes in and says, yo, bro, you're supporting racist developers, it's like, probably not. Probably not. I'm not getting that feeling at all. They just look like they're Korean developers who have a passion about making a good console game. I'm going to go play it and enjoy it. Please leave me alone. You know what I mean? Like, that's how I feel, truthfully. And if that makes me a shitty person, then whatever. I don't know what to say anymore. Yeah, we're not allowed to be happy anymore, guys. Like, seriously. We're not allowed to be happy anymore. All right. Let's move on. Cypherpunk with a super chat says, can't be every game that gets a review score you don't agree with is because of an agenda, LOL. It's just not a 90-plus game. Yeah, I agree with that. Listen, to be honest, I am pretty much completely over reviews at this point. Like, I still cover them here on the channel because it kind of feels like I have to, right? Where it's like, hey, here's how Stellar Blade reviewed. Here's what's generally being said about it. But I think by this point in time, a lot of people, if not most people, feel the exact way I do, which is we're just over it. Like, you know, I think a lot of people who play video games have the desire to kind of go back to simpler times, like when you were younger, where you didn't read reviews, you didn't have everybody and their mother throwing an opinion in your face about this game. Instead, it was just you, maybe a couple magazines, video game magazines talking about it, or maybe a couple videos you saw somewhere about it or a trailer, and you made your decision based off of that. And I will tell you right now that the games that I look back on most fondly, where it's like the best memories I have with games, these are games that like no one told me shit about them, dude. I had zero opinions flood my mind and my brain. The only opinion that was there was mine based off of what I saw, whether it was a magazine or a game trailer or gameplay. And I just bought it or asked my parents to buy it for me based off of that. And of course, you do run the risk of being let down on occasion, but I always went with my gut. And my gut was hardly ever wrong. It has been wrong before, but it's right more often than not. And I just, especially these days with how much insanity there is on these social media sites, and everybody has so much to say about every single thing regarding every aspect of every game. It's like, yeah, I just don't care. I just don't. I mean, I'm just going to do what I'm going to do. And I feel like I just can only encourage others to do the same thing. Regardless of my opinion on what they're doing, again, as long as you're not actively hurting somebody or damaging their property, do what you do. I don't care. Just please try to let others do what they do and let others enjoy what they want to enjoy. That's all. That's all, man. Gaming's getting stressful anymore. See, I got my Happy Life mug. Happy Life, guys. It's a mug Mrs. MBG bought for me a while ago. I need it today. Ain't no way, Gaming Survivor. Dude, Gaming Survivor says, yeah, damage your own property, like your Xbox. That's funny, dude. Gaming Survivor always has like he just comes out of left field saying the craziest shit all the time. I love it. Anyway, here's the point. Before I read what Echospiracy says here. Stellar Blade reviews are out. Sitting at an 82. If that means something to you, then it means something to you. To me, it doesn't mean anything. Stellar Blade is releasing tonight, and I'm looking forward to it. I've enjoyed everything I've seen of it so far, and to me, it looks like it's going to be a great action game. And I did play the demo, and I enjoyed it. So I don't know if Sony's actually having a showcase next month. I'm assuming they are, but basically, I'm looking at Stellar Blade as the game I'm going to play that's going to carry me into the next Sony show, and then Sony will line up the next batch of games that's coming out this year. So Stellar Blade looks awesome, and I'll definitely talk to you guys about it once I start playing it. I want to get some time with it, obviously, and I'll give you my thoughts and my own impressions for those who are interested in hearing that. And then maybe when I finish it up, whenever that might be, maybe I'll do a proper review. We'll see. Capono, you're saying I can tell you don't feel good. Your voice is a little different. It's my sinuses, dude. Yeah, I don't know. Whatever this virus is, basically gave me a bad sinus infection, and they're super swollen. So, sorry about that. Really quick, Terrence says fanboys make everything worse. People saying PlayStation exclusives are underrated or Xbox games overrated or vice versa. You guys need to stop the cope, both sides. I mean, I get what you're saying. I do think that there is certainly fanboy nonsense out there where it's like, yeah, it can be too much. Like, are there actual times where things are unfair? Like in my opinion, in the case of Days Gone, like that, but that's like a rare occurrence. You know what I mean? And I feel like when these things do happen, they do happen rarely, and they're like blatantly obvious, to where it's practically laughable at some point. You know, But I do agree that the conversations can get out of hand too quickly. Where it's like if a game gets like a 7 or an 8, it's like, oh my god, it's fucking trash. It's like, whoa, hold on there, man. You know, or it's like a game gets a 7 or an 8, and it's like, oh my god, the game, it's getting shit on, like it's not fair. It's like these. Listen, I tried to say this to people before, and I think that, when it comes to the whole fanboy conversations, I think this would help chill things out a bit. It's like, dude, they don't matter. They don't. Like, review scores don't matter at all. They don't. And I don't know why people who play video games continue to convince themselves that they do. They don't. It's like, when have you ever sat down, booted up a game, and all you're thinking about the whole time is a number in your head? No. I mean, like, maybe you'll have like a fleeting thought. Like, for example, if you see the reviews of Days Gone and you boot up Days Gone and you're like a couple hours in, you're like, this game's great. This ain't no 5 out of 10. But after that, it's like, who cares? If anything, that just proves once again, like, these numbers don't matter. It's like a person who plays The Last of Us and is like, that ain't no 10 out of 10. It's like, okay. Yeah, there are people who don't think The Last of Us is a 10 out of 10 game, and that's perfectly fine because it's just a number and it doesn't matter. I think sometimes we just get too far away from the basics, from the fundamentals. And the fundamentals are, do you like this game or not? Are you enjoying yourself with this game or not? And I think we try to throw all these different things in there where it's like, well, it's like, when I look back on games, man, my general thought usually is I either really liked it or I didn't, and it wasn't for me. Like, that's usually how I feel when I look back on the games I played. Echospiracy, you're saying, where are you with Final Fantasy VII? Right now, I'm basically halfway through Final Fantasy VII, and I've been hesitant to pick it back up just yet. Because from what I've heard, once you, like, basically, I think I'm on like chapter 7. From that point forward, it basically starts to accelerate, and it's, it becomes like a crazy roller coaster ride. And I'd want to make sure that when I play the rest of Final Fantasy VII, that there aren't any other interferences. And right now, Stellar Blade would definitely count as an interference, just like Rise of the Ronin did. And I'm gonna get back to it at some point. And when I do, I'll definitely give my thoughts on it. We have Matt Fu coming in saying, John Linneman nailed it with this comment, quote, "It's just a gosh darn enjoyable video game," end quote. Well, there you go. Exactly. John Linneman, keeping it simple, sweet, and to the point. It's just a gosh darn enjoyable video game. Yeah. And to be honest, man, what more could you ask for? Right? Think about it. Think about it. When I sit down to spend my time, arguably the most valuable thing I have, spend my time with a controller in my hands, staring at a screen, interacting with a video game, what could I really ask for that matters? The only thing I could really ask for is I just want to enjoy myself. I just want it to be an enjoyable experience. I want to have fun. That's it. And I just feel like, again, so many people are so unhappy all the time about everything. Chris Brown, you're saying, what are you guys even talking about? Well, we're basically talking about how it just seems like people try too hard to take something that could just be considered simple, fun, and enjoyable, overall enjoyable experience, and try to turn it into just some kind of problem or argument, And I do think that happens way more than it should, certainly. But I'm going to wrap up this topic because I feel like I went a little bit all over the place. So just a quick recap of the topic. Stellar Blade's reviewing pretty well. It doesn't matter to me because I've already decided I'm buying this game and supporting it. But if reviews do matter to you, it's sitting at an 82. And the game is super polished for the PS5. No bugs, no issues. It's just a ultra refined experience. So they optimized the hell out of it for the PS5. There is some drama surrounding the hard R situation and stuff like that. And also some people thinking that maybe some review scores were unfair. My recommendation is don't pay too much attention to that. Just, again, let the game speak for itself. Let it speak to you. And if it feels like it's your type of game, go support it. If it feels like it's not, then move on and find something that appeals to you more. But another solid PS5 title dropped in. I do actually want to add one more thing here before we move on to the next topic. I do want to just also briefly acknowledge that, again, I think Stellar Blade, it once again signifies that Sony is, in fact, doing a very good job delivering content for their player base. And I know that there's been so much conversation lately about exclusivity and the future of exclusivity. Are exclusives dead? Are they not? Well, putting that conversation aside, what I know right now is that Stellar Blade is a PlayStation 5 console exclusive. And Sony has, once again, another month goes by where Sony says, look, if you bought the PS5, here's an exclusive game for you that you can play this month. Enjoy. And I got to give the credit where it's due, man, where Sony's had content in January. They've had multiple game drops in February. They had Rise of the Ronin in March. And here we are with Stellar Blade in April. And, I know that there are a lot of people who are very critical of Sony. But in this case, I think you do got to give credit where it's due. Sony locked this in. Yeah, apparently this is Shuhei Yoshida. I did watch that documentary, by the way, the docuseries, the second part, and the developer did confirm that it was Shuhei Yoshida that basically personally went to go try the game out, and he was like, yeah, we should sign this game. So Shu does it again, bro. He does it again. All right, so... Oh, and also before I move on, I completely forgot to inform you guys of this. This is courtesy of Shinobi602 on Twitter. Stellar Blade will launch with a New Game Plus mode tomorrow. This is what developer ShiftUp confirmed. The New Game Plus mode will feature new skills, harder difficulties, level expansions for gear, 34, count them, 34 new outfits to acquire, 5 additional accessories, 2 cosmetics, and new enemy placements. So this is a pretty beefy New Game Plus experience, New Game Plus mode experience that they're dropping. Yeah, that's a lot of content. 34 new outfits. That's a lot, dude. That's kind of crazy. So if you're somebody who is looking for replay value and replayability out of Stellar Blade, this to me is something you definitely want to pay attention to. And also, just want to give another shout out to ShiftUp, where they're making sure that the New Game Plus mode is available at launch. I'm not trying to throw shade towards Sony or their studios, but I feel like it's always worth pointing out when a game ships with New Game Plus mode and you don't have to necessarily wait for it. So, ShiftUp is doing a great job. Earring DLC for the win. There you go. There you go. You're saying you're finding every damn outfit and collectible. I do wonder if I'll try to play a New Game Plus. I mean, it sounds tempting. It sounds like there's a lot of content, which is nice. But we're going to move on to the next topic here, guys. And this is one of the main topics of discussion as well. Before I move on, though, guys, do me a favor. Please hit that like button for me. I really appreciate when you guys hit that like button. It lets me know you enjoy the content, and it, more importantly, helps with YouTube's algorithm. I've been noticing that you guys have been doing a great job at hitting the like button, so thank you for that. Let's see if we can get to 150 likes, maybe even 175. But the next topic that we're going to be talking about here is one that, again, I haven't seen literally anybody talking about, but I feel as though it's actually pretty relevant. I'm not saying it's a huge deal. I'm just saying it's something that, you know, we just came off of a couple of weeks ago an extensive, almost like a week-long conversation, if you want to call it that, about a game like Hellblade 2 releasing in May and how it's going to be locked at 30 frames, but it's like pushing the graphical boundaries of Unreal Engine 5. And it kind of created this discourse about, should this be acceptable? Should console players be okay with this? Where it's like, you know, should we expect more 30 FPS games, especially in Unreal Engine 5? Now, I covered this in my video yesterday, but in case you missed it, apparently Sony Fire Sprite's PS5 horror game is seemingly targeting 4K 60 FPS in Unreal Engine 5. Says here, it looks like the PS5 horror game in development at PlayStation Studio Fire Sprite survived the recent cancellations, and according to its programmer, it will target 4K 60 FPS. Fire Sprite is one of the developers hit by the recent PlayStation layoffs, which also resulted in its Twisted Metal live service game being canceled. Sony never officially announced Fire Sprite's horror game, but in 2022, job descriptions leaked its existence. With PlayStation undergoing mass layoffs and cancellations, many feared the project was dead. However, a Reddit user spotted the portfolio of its programmer, William Webster, who detailed his work on the project. Webster has since locked down the page in question, but PlayStation Lifestyle can confirm seeing it and its existence. Webster, who has been working for Fire Sprite for a number of years, per his LinkedIn profile, confirmed that he worked on a narrative horror game for more than 2 years. One of his main goals was to ensure that this horror game ran at 60 FPS at 4K resolution. Quote, "I found working on this title a very rewarding experience," end quote. He separately confirmed that this mystery horror game is, in fact, being developed in Unreal Engine 5. There is also some speculation going on that Fire Sprite is working on Until Dawn 2, but as of right now, there's no compelling evidence to support that. And I would argue that the most compelling evidence we have is the Until Dawn remaster, which is being handled by Ballistic Moon. Until Dawn is getting a remaster for PS5 and PC that's coming out this year, and it's getting a movie adaptation. This horror game that's been in development at Fire Sprite has been in development for at least, I think, 3+ years. And it would make a lot of sense if Sony sees franchise potential in something like Until Dawn to maybe task them with making a sequel. However, the only thing that's strange to me about this, and why I'm not so sure I believe it's going to be Until Dawn 2, is because Ballistic Moon, again, the team that's remastering Until Dawn, that team is comprised of former Supermassive devs who originally made Until Dawn. As far as I'm aware, Fire Sprite is not comprised of Supermassive devs. Maybe they are, but I don't think they are. So I don't know. You would think it would kind of be the other way around. You know what I mean? Like you would give a project like Until Dawn 2 to a team that originally made the first game. But anyway, to me, the big standout here is not the fact that we are getting a horror game. I mean, that is a standout in that, hey, that's exciting. I actually hope that this game gets revealed this year. I'm really curious what this horror game is going to be. I'm really curious to see what Fire Sprite's been working on. But it's the fact that this was discovered and pretty much nobody's talking about it. You know, nobody's talking about the fact that whatever this PS5 horror game is, it is being developed in Unreal Engine 5. It's not using Sony's own bespoke engine like Decima. It is a UE5 game. And this individual accidentally revealed that his main job with this game was to ensure it can run at 60 FPS at 4K. So we essentially, I don't want to say it's confirmation, but it's the closest thing to confirmation that we're going to get right now, that Sony is working with Unreal Engine 5, and they are doing exactly what I suspected they would. if they were to work with Unreal Engine 5, and that is they're still going to push for 60 FPS as the standard. And this is, in my opinion, something we shouldn't overlook, because just 2 weeks ago, I was being told by many different people that, no, you need to expect future Unreal Engine 5 games to be locked at 30 FPS on console. Right? And there were people defending Hellblade 2, which, no shade towards Hellblade 2, but it's just, I basically called out the fact that it's kind of wild to me that Sony has created this 60 FPS standard on their console for all of their games. And Microsoft has done the opposite by having 30 FPS essentially be the standard, or closer to the standard. And Hellblade 2, people have kind of come out to defend it and be like, dude, listen, it's pushing the boundary of graphics. Like, how could you expect this game to run at 60? And I'm like, well, you know what? Now that I'm looking at this info that leaked out about this PlayStation 5 exclusive first-party horror game that specifically says Unreal Engine 5 4K 60 FPS. I'm very curious as to what this game is going to look like. Right? Because it's probably going to look very, very good. However, there is an unknown factor here that we haven't addressed yet, and that is the PS5 Pro. Could this developer be essentially saying that when he's talking about achieving 60 FPS at 4K in Unreal Engine 5, is he talking about the PS5 Pro? Sorry, I gotta pop my ears there. He could be, yeah. But I don't know, man. This to me is like, again, I'm not trying to make it sound like this is some kind of be all end all, but it's just strange to me how people are so quick to make assumptions in the name of, if not defending something, but just trying to like downplay something. It's like, I get it, like, I guess sometimes games are going to be 30 FPS. But we are in speculation town, but I did basically defend Sony a little bit. And I said, look, I can't say for sure that if Sony makes a graphically cutting edge or very, very, really, really graphically impressive Unreal Engine 5 game, I can't guarantee, obviously, that they would achieve 60 FPS, but I have a very strong feeling that they would push for it, that they would be aiming and targeting 60 FPS in Unreal Engine 5. And there were people who pushed back against that. There were people who were telling me that, like, no, dude, you just don't understand how the engine works. That's not a thing. Like, this is just how it's going to be going forward. And here we are, just a couple weeks later, it basically leaks out that, no, Sony does have an Unreal Engine 5 project, AAA project in development, and they are specifically targeting 60 FPS. And the only thing that remains to be seen is the game itself. Now, look, if the game looks significantly less impressive than, say, something like Hellblade 2, okay, then we'll be able to say, well, that's why it can hit 60 FPS. That's what I'm thinking, Jack. I think that this is basically a form of confirmation that Sony is mandating 60 FPS. Like, you can use Unreal Engine 5, but your game has to be 60 FPS. Like, you have to offer 60 FPS mode. It seems like they're really pushing for that, and I think that's a very good thing. I do. We have Unintended Studios here saying, instead of correcting your Japanese, today I'm playing a drinking game for every time you pronounce horror differently. Horror. Cheers. Horror. Sony's new horror game. Am I saying it differently each time? If I am, I don't even realize it, but hopefully I don't cause you too much damage, Unintended Studios. That's funny though, man. But But this is actually very good news to me because I was talking to you guys a couple weeks ago about how I really don't want to go back to 30 FPS, and I understand. Hold on. Sorry, okay. Sorry about that. Jay Shako says leave MEG alone. Oh, dude, I can I. Oh man, PlayStation Showcase deliver us. I'm just ready for this month to be over, dude. The past 2 months have not been great. I'm gonna be honest. Like, and I feel like, dude, it's like the last week of April, and I feel so sick. And I'm like, can the good times come now, guys? Please, like, holy shit. I'm trying to push through, man. I'm trying to push through. The dude, what are you talking about, bro? Like, I keep seeing your chats come up, and I don't know what you're talking about. Where's the beast? We're gonna bring him in after we get through some of these topics. We're gonna bring in boss. Just refer to the genre as spooky. Yeah, they have the spooky PS5 game. Ah, that does sound pretty great, actually. That's a good one. That's a good, yeah, spooky. Holy shit. Oh, okay. The model of Eve has an OnlyFans. It's $1,000 a month. Oh man. Sheesh. Yeah, I was wondering what you were talking about. Now it makes sense. Well then, I'm just gonna move on from that because that is wild. That is crazy. Yeah, that is crazy. But anyway, I think this is really good news about the potential future of the PlayStation 5 generation. I did tell you guys how I really don't want to go back to 30 FPS if I don't have to. And Sony has gotten me accustomed to expecting 60 FPS performance modes in not just some of their games, in all of their games. And of course, I want cutting edge graphics. Of course, I want the graphics in their games to look as good as they can. But I do genuinely believe that, look, Sony, it would be a huge mistake if you just suddenly have to come out and be like, sorry, we can't do that anymore. I think it would be a mistake. I think people would be frustrated because that's the expectation. And I think it's also just a very good look, right? Like if Sony can put out an Unreal Engine 5 game in 2026 or whatever and say, we could deliver this at 4K 60, you know? And then if you want to play the PS5 Pro version, you get an even higher resolution and ray tracing, like a bunch of ray tracing. To me, that sounds pretty great. See, Laurent has I almost said showed up. Laurent showed up. Laurent's here. What's up, man? Good to see you. Hope you're doing well, man. You're saying, would I be cool with it if the PS5 Pro only got 60 frames? It would be a little bit disappointing, It would be like a little bit because it's like, all right. But at the same time, I would be like, at least the option is there. Like, sure, it's for the Pro, but it's still there. But it would still be a bit disappointing. I gotta be real. It would still be a bit disappointing. And maybe that's what they're referring to, dude. I see we got Paul coming in, member for 5 months, with a ton of Boss and Leia emojis. I don't think I've seen that many Boss and Leia emojis lined up back to back. Yeah, I'll bring him in soon. Don't worry. Don't worry. It's just that once I bring Boss in, there's no going back. So I got to make sure I get through my topics first. Boss is a destructive force. He is a chaotic force. Cat UFC. What about 1080p 60 on PS5 and 4K 60 on the Pro? I would accept that. Again, it would be slightly disappointing, but I would at least be thankful that like Sony is still offering that 60 FPS mode. Even if it was at 1080p, I would at least be happy to know, like, all right, you're offering a higher frame rate. To me, that's the more important thing. I would assume they would still offer a fidelity mode though on the base PS5. Perfect Image here with a $5 super chat saying, "Hey MBG, due to the fact that Unreal 5 update will run 60 FPS or 40 FPS stable, the DLS, FSR, VRR ray tracing needs to update to run better." Well, actually, you know what? Perfect Image, this helps segue me right into it's still basically the same topic, but it's a write-up from WCCF Tech that talks about Unreal Engine 5, specifically Unreal Engine 5.4. They say here Unreal Engine 5 is increasingly the go-to option for current-gen game development, and now the latest version of Epic software is here. We got a taste of Unreal Engine 5.4 during last month's State of Unreal GDC 2024 showcase, but now the software is in developers' hands. From a player standpoint, the most exciting thing about Unreal Engine 5.4 are Epic's promises of improved performance. If there's one area UE5 has fallen short in, it's performance, with many games built on the engine struggling on current-gen consoles and requiring wallet-destroying rigs to run well on PC. Unreal Engine 5.4 aims to make 60 FPS experiences more achievable on current hardware. Epic also seems to indicate they've made improvements to shader compilation, hopefully ironing out those frustrating stutters that have plagued some UE titles in recent years. It says here, with many developers targeting 60 Hz experiences, we've invested significant effort into improving rendering performance in UE 5.4. This includes refactoring the systems to enable a greater degree of parallelization, as well as adding GPU instance culling to hardware ray tracing, which also now benefits from additional primitive types and an optimized path tracer. Further optimizations have been made to shader compilation, resulting in a notable improvement in project cook times. Project cook times. Of course, there are plenty of new features designed to boost visual fidelity as well, with Nanite adding adaptive tessellation, which can create incredible fine details and ground cover without consuming an excessive amount of processing power, and heterogeneous volumes, which can produce very realistic and dynamic smoke and clouds. Epic's in-engine temporal super resolution upscaling has also been improved, and developers have been given more options to easily plug their AI and machine learning tools into UE5. So I think that kind of speaks to what you were saying here, Perfect Image, where one of the benefits of Unreal Engine 5.4, it sounds like there's a lot of benefits here, a lot of important updates, but specifically that it'll now be easier for developers for example, if they're going to use Sony's PSSR, they can maybe, I don't know, can PSSR? I'm assuming that can be used in something like Unreal Engine 5, but things like DLSS, and FSR, sounds like it'll be a lot easier for them to kind of put it in there and add it to Unreal Engine 5 and take advantage of it. But yeah, man, I do wonder, like, again, talking about this PlayStation 5 spooky game, as Corey would like me to call it, I do wonder, like, if they are going to use this new updated version of Unreal Engine 5.4, or if it's going to be running on just the standard Unreal Engine 5. Maybe this new update in Unreal Engine 5 with version 5.4, maybe this will be the big difference maker that we've kind of been waiting for. Yeah, like, it took a little bit longer than expected, but we're at that point where they are saying, look, we are focusing on performance and hopefully making it a lot easier for developers to achieve 60 FPS with their current gen games that are targeting these consoles. I think that's very good news. I think overall this is something that should benefit this generation quite substantially. I mean, again, is this maybe what we were expecting from the onset? Probably, but I don't know, man. Unreal Engine 5 seems like it is a pretty taxing engine. And I'm wondering if this is the only studio underneath Sony, the only PlayStation studio. I wonder if it's the only PlayStation studio that's actually using Unreal Engine 5, or if there are other studios that are using UE5 as well. But at the very least, we know of one. And so it's reassuring that they're targeting 60. Can't really say I could ask for much more than that. And at this point in time, I'm thinking whenever this horror game is revealed by Firesprite, I think it's called Project Bates or Project Heartbreak is what it's called internally. Bend Studio. I don't think we know what engine Bend is using. I do wonder if Bend is using Unreal Engine 5. We'll find out. They could be, yeah. But I do think that when we see this Project Heartbreak game announced by Firesprite, I do think it'll be a PS5 Pro game. And that'll probably help it a lot. Let's get some fresh air in here. Oh. Sorry, my ears keep getting full. Yeah, we just talked about that, Gavin. UE5 is getting an update with version 5.4. If that's what you're talking about. Need that ginger shot? Yeah, I do. All right, so while we're on the topic of talking about Unreal Engine 5 and the PS5 Pro, I have another article here. Oh my god, dude. I'm going to lose my mind today, bro. I'm sorry. I'm like getting this popping in my ear. Like I'm getting this popping in my ear just from talking. You got to be kidding me, bro. Like just from talking? Come on now. God, trying to sleep when you're sick. Also the worst thing ever. We got Laurent coming in. Dropping a membership gift for you guys. Laurent's keeping this membership train going today. Really appreciate that, man.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Laurent brings us up to 56 members on the day. He's keeping it going. Good stuff, bro. Thank you. No excuse for the reps now, dude. I don't know if I could do reps today, bro. I think that might be a little bit dangerous. Like the thing is, I was really sick yesterday, and I thought for sure I would be better today. No, little MBG is not sick. Mrs. MBG is sick though. Yeah, me and her are both sick. Yeah, I don't know if I want to do reps while I'm sick. I don't want to. I really thought I was going to be better today, and I was just so disappointed because I was like, oh man, this is one of those viruses that's going to take like a week to fully leave my body, and I'm like, damn it. I was like hoping it was just like a 24-hour thing, but it's all right. I'm just disappointed because again, man, the weather's nice, it's springtime. We're about to enter May, and I thought, man, finally. Boss is saying, stop whining. Treats. Yeah. Well, Mrs. MBG has been eating a lot of organic carrots, and she's recovering much quicker than me. And she's telling me. Mrs. MBG was telling me, she's like, you got to eat the carrots. I'm telling you. I don't like carrots, but I am. When I'm done the stream, I'm going to eat carrots. She's just been eating a bunch of carrots for the past like 24 hours, and she's getting better a lot quicker than me. And I'm like, you know what? She swears that's what's doing it. And I'm like, okay, you know what? I feel like I'm getting worse. So give me those carrots. All right. She's going to turn orange. All right, let me read this report for you guys. It's once again talking about the PS5 Pro, and it's once again coming from WCCF Tech. It says here, on paper, the PS5 Pro's 45% faster GPU should be enough to fix issues in GPU limited scenarios, such as in games that are aggressively using dynamic resolution scaling. The tech experts at Digital Foundry recently discussed the specifications of the yet to be revealed mid-gen refresh, going over what PlayStation Spectral Super Resolution and Ultra Boost mode could bring to the table, and which games could benefit the most from the enhancements they should bring on day one without any input from developers. So to be clear, we did cover this as well, but we're getting the opinion of Digital Foundry. I know not everybody likes Digital Foundry, but for those who missed it, there was more documentation or more details from the documentation that leaked about the PS5 Pro that essentially confirmed that games will benefit from the extra horsepower of the PS5 Pro without developers doing anything. There are games that are just going to have higher resolutions and more stable frame rates, and the developers don't have to touch it. They cannot call those games PS5 Pro enhanced games, but they can, I think, at least acknowledge that maybe they get a PS5 Pro boost or something, you know? And so that's what they're talking about. But it says here, among the titles that should benefit the most should be titles that use AMD FSR2 aggressively, like Star Wars Jedi Survivor and Avatar Frontiers of Pandora, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and Final Fantasy XVI, which look really blurry in their performance modes. Immortals of Avium, and every game that has an explicit VRR mode, such as most of Sony's first-party titles like God of War Ragnarok, Spider-Man 2, and Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, Naughty Dog's Last of Us Part 1 and Part 2 Remastered, among others. Games that do not utilize dynamic resolution scaling and already run at a solid 30 or 60 frames per second will not see any improvement from PSSR and Ultra Boost mode and will likely require an actual PS5 Pro patch to take advantage of on the console's increased specs. All right, let me bring Boss in because he's about to like rip my door down. Give me a second. Hold on. Come on. I know you're ready. All right, Boss is in here with us. Sorry, I wanted to finish this topic before I brought him in, but he sounded like he was literally destroying the door. Saying, "Give me some infantry." Dude, he meowed at me real loud. He did. As soon as I opened the door, he's like, "Meow." Come on, Boss. A little too much there. There you go. Treat time is now. There you go, man. He said, "Bitch, why'd you lock me out?" Listen, Boss, I love you, man, but like, come on. Perfect angle too. He's got that light behind him. It's very epic. Epic snack eating going on. Terrence, you're saying the upscaling and frame gen will be the PS5 Pro's secret weapon. You're probably right. Yeah, I think that we're gonna find out that the PS5 Pro is gonna do some great things. I think a lot of people are counting it out too soon. MBG, someone said that after 17 years, we're still barely yet to reach true 1080p gameplay in most games, like on the Nintendo Switch and Xbox Series S, for example. Do you think they're right? I mean, for that hardware, maybe, yeah. But generally speaking, no. No. Man, he was hungry. Boss was hungry for those snacks. He has hero lighting. Yeah, Boss has hero lighting behind him. The beast is out of the chains. Yeah, you guys really do love Boss. man. Just got to make it through. Just got to make it through. One day at a time. One day at a time, guys. No, you're definitely not wrong when you say he's such a cutie pie, because even Mrs. MBG earlier was like, man, boss is just so cute. It's like, this is why everybody loves him. He's just too cute. He already ate all those snacks, though. Holy shit. He heard something. Yeah, there's been a lot of birds out back now. And that's what he's looking in the backyard. And look at it. You see the stance he's in? He thinks, I mean, he's a cat. He wants to hunt the birds. It would help MBG? A showcase. Yes. Yes. Where did he go? Okay, no, hold on. Boss, see, this is what we can't do. I know he's already starting, dude. He's already starting. I gotta take some precautions here to make sure he doesn't destroy anything over here. But yeah, when it comes to this PS5 Pro, I thought it was interesting to hear this from Digital Foundry, because that does sound pretty promising to me. Like I think one of the best things the PS5 Pro is going to do for a lot of games that have already released, and also future games, is it's just going to simply brute force any of these games that use dynamic resolution, which a lot of games do. Like, I think most games use dynamic resolution. It's just going to beef them up. It's just going to automatically make them look better and potentially run better. And that's awesome, I think that's like kind of a maybe unsung benefit. Talk about Sony buying Paramount. I mean, I don't know what to say about it, dude. Truth be told, I don't really know what to say about the idea of Sony buying Paramount. Because, boss, you got my arm locked up here, bro. Mainly because, like, all right, come on, go up there. Mainly because, to me, that seems more like a general Sony corporation move, rather than like a PlayStation driven move. And like, if Sony were to purchase Paramount, would it affect the PlayStation brand? Yeah, for sure. But I just don't know that it would, I don't know that it would have the biggest implications for PlayStation. Yeah, they would get all their IPs. I think they own SpongeBob and like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Avatar, and they own a lot. Doesn't Paramount own the Frasier IP as well? I just got done watching all 11 seasons of Frasier. Do I think that AC Red's gameplay is going to be similar to Ghost of Tsushima? I honestly couldn't tell you. I haven't been keeping up with the Assassin's Creed games. Frasier on PS5, bro. Yeah, absolutely. Frasier remastered. I want a Frasier game. Let's do it. Like a turn-based Frasier RPG, I would play that shit. And I don't even play turn-based RPGs. You know what's crazy, dude? Somebody made they like modded a Final Fantasy game, like one of the earlier Final Fantasy games, and they turned it in, like they replaced all the characters and everything with Frasier, like all the characters from the world of Frasier and the settings, and it's basically a Frasier RPG. It's like Final Frasier or some shit. It's like, wow, okay. I can't believe that exists. Somebody did it already, dude. Somebody did it already. Yeah, the Halo show is made by Paramount. So that would be pretty funny. You're saying that's why I love PC. Yeah, I gotta admit that's a big W for PC right there. Oh yeah, they own Star Trek as well. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, again, it's currently just a rumor, but we just have to basically sit back and see if there's going to be any truth to this, if it's actually going to happen or not. Dark Demon Media says Halo IP is not included in the sale of Paramount's purchase. It's an IP loan. An IP loan would be implemented. Well, yeah. I mean, I know that Paramount doesn't own the Halo IP. They were given they're basically licensing it. They struck a deal, I think, with Microsoft to make the show. Microsoft could strip it from them if this were to happen, but I don't think Microsoft would really care too much. Yeah, no, Sony wouldn't own the Halo IP. It's just they would own the company, essentially, that is making the show based on the Halo IP. Can Sony save the Halo TV show? Beavis and Butthead plays. Oh yeah, they do own Beavis and Butthead. Yes, a Beavis and Butthead game. That would be awesome, dude. I love Beavis and Butthead. All right, so I don't have too much more to say. Getting back on topic here, I don't have much left to say about the PS5 Pro, other than I just kind of wanted to throw this in there that according to Digital Foundry, the PS5 Pro's 45% increase in GPU and processing should be enough to just basically strong arm a bunch of games and just deliver improvements. And what we ultimately could see is the PS5 Pro boost mode actually being pretty consequential, which would be nice. Boss? No. I want to move on to the next topic, though. And I'm not going to... So we only have like a couple more topics left, and I'm not going to spend too long on any of them, but it's definitely something I have to bring up here. And I don't know how excited people are for this, but it's worth going over. And that is the fact that Media Molecule's next game is officially confirmed to be a new IP. I can't say that there's a ton of hype for this because it's been a long time since we've gotten a proper game from Media Molecule, and it feels like Sony has basically mismanaged Media Molecule. But I do think this is a pretty big deal because Media Molecule has a lot of potential. I think that they have a lot of potential to really get back to what people want to see from them, which are more traditional games. And I think, Media Molecule has the potential to really reestablish themselves, as a primary, well-respected. I think they're still well-respected, but just a top-tier PlayStation studio. And the way we know that it's officially a new IP is Media Molecule did confirm that they're working on a new project already. Like, we did know that, but we didn't know if it was like, are they going back to Little Big Planet? Are they doing something new? It was spotted on a job application for the principal programmer of art with the art technology. It specifically says that that their game, that Media Molecule's next game is a new IP. Now, they don't reveal, they don't reveal like what this new IP is, but I'll just tell you, like, I do hope that it's kind of an evolution of some kind. Well, I don't know if that's the right word to use. I guess that would be the most appropriate word to use. I want it to be like an evolution of Little Big Planet. I don't expect something serious from Media Molecule, like something more mature. I do expect something, more akin to, like, again, what we've gotten in the past, like Little Big Planet, but also maybe Astrobot, something a bit more a bit more kid-friendly, I guess you could say. Something less mature. But I think that would be very welcome. I think it would be, because I think Sony needs more of this type of stuff. I think Sony needs a more diverse lineup of games to help, in a way, kind of compete a little bit with Nintendo. And again, this is why I just feel like Media Molecule, they've been a completely underutilized studio that could probably deliver some solid titles for PlayStation and the fan base. And there's obviously a lot of concern that Media Molecule would end up getting shut down after what happened with Dreams, and we know that apparently they were on the chopping block. Like, it was between either Media Molecule or Sony London, and we know now that Sony London was the one that got shut down. Media Molecule's safe, and they're being tasked with making a new IP. So I don't think we're going to see it anytime soon. Like, I would expect it'll be at least 2 or 3 years from now until we hear about this new game. But again, I'm rooting for Media Molecule. I think that the potential is there. You're talking about the same team that created the Little Big Planet franchise. They made Tearaway. And Dreams was nice, but Dreams, I think, was just... It was very ambitious, and I just don't know that it got the proper support that it needed. I don't know that it had the general appeal that would have been necessary to really prop up a game like Dreams. And you do have to question why Sony allowed them to just, for basically 10 years, just chill with Dreams. I would have thought that Sony would have done something sooner, but better late than never. And so, yeah, again, yeah, they did. So Media Molecule did have layoffs, and I think one of the founders of Media Molecule also left. And the studio could be very different now. So maybe because of that, their next game, even though it is going to be a new IP, it could be a very different type of game. We'll have to wait and see. But I'm rooting for them. I want to see Media Molecule I want to see them make a comeback. I do. And I think it'd be very good. Paul, you're saying you like Dreams a lot. Yeah, Dreams is a very cool game. Corey's saying, here's what I think we would all enjoy. Socom. I agree, Corey. Sony, please be doing something with Socom. If Sony's not doing something with Socom, that's just depressing to me. That's a Sony-owned PlayStation IP that I really think, like, how could you just sit on that and do nothing? I think I've seen a lot of people express a desire to have a new Socom experience of some kind. Like, I think the audience would be bigger than we think. Put some respect on Socom's name, Sony. Come on. Come on. But yeah, just wanted to relay that information to you guys. Again, if you missed my video from yesterday, we did cover it in the video, but Media Molecule, new IP confirmed. I know not everybody is really super excited for that because, I don't know, not everybody's a fan of Media Molecule, but we'll see. If we get any new information on this, I'll definitely relay it to you guys and talk to you guys about it and let you know what's going on. But I want to move on to the next topic, which is talking about a game that I honestly did think was canceled. Does anybody remember the game Project Awakening? Anybody remember this? So, Cygames' mysterious RPG Project Awakening has not been canceled after all, though we reckon it's now only targeting the PS5. Cygames, who recently released Grand Blue Fantasy Relink, first revealed the game. It says here 6 years ago at E3 2018 for the PS4, but I think it was actually officially revealed. No, it says here that it was first revealed 6 years ago at E3 2018 for the PS4. There have been no updates since, or no meaningful updates. Although Project Awakening was briefly revealed at E3 2018, its existence was confirmed as far back as 2016. It was confirmed to be an open-world game influenced by the likes of Dragon's Dogma and Monster Hunter. In 2019, Cygames said that the PS5 version is is likely if Project Awakening is still in development when the console releases. The same year, a rating board entry hinted at a demo version. However, nothing actually came of it. Fast forward to this week, Gamatsu spotted Project Awakening in Cygame's most recent financial report. The RPG is now listed as a generic console title with its release date to be decided. But on top of that, we actually saw the official Project Awakening Twitter account activate and let us know the game is coming. Like, they're still working on it. And as I'm talking about Project Awakening, we got Steven Leon coming in out of nowhere, dropping a 20 bomb onto this community. Guys, let's get some W's flowing in the chat for our good friend Steven. Steven just got us over the third goal here. We are now at 76 members on the day. You guys are incredible. Seriously, thank you so much. So much for everything you do for the channel. Everybody who watches, thank you. But to those of you who are supporting directly, like Steven here, dropping a 20 bomb, really means a lot, man. Couldn't do what I do here without you guys. And Steven says here with his member chat, my 5 cats, 5 dogs, and other animals made me do this. They must like boss then, bro. Is that why they made you do this? No, but Steven, I really appreciate that, man. This is very kind of you.
Holy shit.
Forgot to play that as well. Another 20 bomb. Corey dropped the 20 bomb earlier. Now Steven dropped the second one. And we're now at 76 members. Let me update this goal. Give me 1 sec here, guys. Steven's like, yo, Project Awakening, let's go. So I do apologize that I can't do reps for you guys today, but I do owe you those reps. Hopefully on Sunday. Sunday should be when we do the next stream. I mean, God, I'm really hoping I feel 100% by Sunday, because if I'm not 100% by Sunday, I'm going to be very depressed. But Sunday will be the next time we do another stream, and I'll do some reps then for sure, because I have the dumbbells sitting behind me. I don't know if you can see them or not. But easy access, you know. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Amazing community we have here. I'm very thankful for you guys, truly. I know, Corey. I know. Your dream announcement, Capcom versus SNK 3. When did Capcom versus SNK 2 come out? August 2001. Shit, dude. Is there any word on a third one? I don't think there's a third one in development, is there? Says here, August 30th, 2022, both sides are interested in reviving SNK versus Capcom, says producer. So that's what was said in 2022. So I don't know. Oh, God. Maybe they will do it. You never know, bro. You never know. Laurent says, love this community as well. Very thankful for all the well wishes every time. Yeah, same here, Laurent. I can't wait till things start to heat up again, though. You know, this month is really starting to drag news-wise, and I told you guys why this is. It's because all of the financial reports are getting ready to come out, and it's pretty clear that it's not gonna be pretty. All these companies are like, you know, they're gonna be losing shareholders, man, and they're gonna have to win the shareholders back. So Capcom, you know, it's funny though, because Capcom seems to be one of the only companies that's actually still doing well, even now. Good for them. Good for them. We have Perfect Image here with another super chat. Really appreciate that, man. Saying with SOCOM, it's on Division's engine. No devs want to port over to a different engine. No devs want to rewrite the code, the Division engine, to make a new one. So you're saying the name of the engine is called the Division engine? Yeah. Well, you're probably right about that. Like, I would assume that if a new SOCOM game was made, my assumption is it would be made from the ground up on a completely different engine. And I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Assuming they would keep it third person, I feel like you would have to keep SOCOM third person because it's a third person tactical shooter. I don't really know if Sony has an engine that really facilitates that. I mean, Decima is third person open world, but I don't. Yeah, I guess you're right. Maybe they would have to maybe they would have to completely rewrite that engine. I don't know. I guess there's a lot of different ways they could go about it. I don't really care though, honestly. Like I just want Sony to do something with SOCOM. That'd be pretty cool. Yeah, Decima, that's true. Decima did produce a Killzone game, but that's first person, I guess it could be changed up enough to go third person shooter. I remember there was some speculation a while ago that Guerrilla's multiplayer game was actually going to be like a shooter based in that universe. I was like, that's actually a super interesting. It's going to be like before the or like when the machine outbreak first happened, and it would be like a shooter. I was like, that actually sounds like it'd be pretty sick. But we'll see if SOCOM is doing. SOCOM is doing anything with Sony. If Sony is doing anything with SOCOM, I assume we'll have to hear about it soon because it's been a long time. It's been a very long time. But I want to get back to talking about Project Awakening because I want to. Is there anybody here who doesn't know what Project Awakening is? Because we basically have one trailer for it. Does anybody not know what Project Awakening is? IP Gaming, you're saying no idea? I'm not surprised. I imagine quite a few people don't know. I highly recommend, you don't have to do it right now. You can if you want. Don't leave the stream, though. Don't leave the stream. Open a second tab. I highly recommend YouTubing the Project Awakening trailer because there's only one trailer out there, and it looks good, dude. Like, if that's actually still what the game is going to be, this is why I would be excited to see Project Awakening because the game looks based off, I'm assuming it's just a concept trailer, but you can kind of tell what they're going for. It's kind of like this, Dragon's Dogma, Monster Hunter / Dark Souls vibe, and it did look very good, and we just haven't seen or heard anything of it. So what I wanted to point out to you guys is that the official Twitter account, let me bring it up here. Twitter would be Project Awakening. The official Twitter account of Project Awakening, if I could find it. I seemingly can't find it. I can't find it. Is this it? Nope. A lot of different Project Awakening accounts. Project Awakening update not canceled. Hold on. Yeah, so they said here, Project Awakening update. Hello. Our team has an important message for you. Number 1, our game has not been canceled. Number 2, we are working hard behind the scenes to bring you the best experience possible. Stay tuned for more updates in the coming months. Thank you for your continued support. So, listen, I don't want to jump to conclusions, but the timing of this, is it not interesting? We haven't heard from Project Awakening in literal years, and they're just coming out randomly and saying, hey, we're going to have some updates for you very soon. Come on. A proper re-reveal at a PlayStation showcase. It's got to happen. It's got to happen. You know a game is MIA when the first thing they come out and say is, don't worry, it hasn't been canceled. But I want to see it. This game always seemed like it had a lot of potential to me, and I am glad to hear that it's not canceled. This could be a pretty good partnership with Sony. I'm assuming it's still like a PS5 exclusive. Maybe it won't be, but all right there, boss. So there's your update on Project Awakening. What is that smoke to my right? It's a humidifier. I'm using a humidifier today. I'm all fucked up. Am I hinting that it's for a pro release? Well, I will say, if Project Awakening does come out, like I'm assuming it is going to come out because they're saying the game's still in development. I would assume it'll be I'm assuming that any game that's not coming out this year, or let me rephrase that. Any game that's coming out after 2024 is a PS5 Pro game. That's how I look at it. Because again, Sony is asking devs to submit all their games to make sure they're going to be PS5 Pro certified by August of this year. Don't chew that wire. Don't chew that wire. Is the Stellar Blade Platinum going to be hard? I heard it's not going to be too difficult. Boss, no. Bad cat. I'm going to give Boss a couple more treats, though, since we hit 76 members. All right. And he obliterated those other treats. Here you go. Second feeding. Not going to give him too many this time, though. If we hit 100 members, I'll give Boss a third round of snacks. I'm going to make him fat. Now, I like to think he's just getting buff, you know? He's been working out. He's been lifting. We hit 100 members, I'll give Boss a third round of snacks. Or we'll do some laser. I'll have him exercise. I'll have him work off some of those extra calories from the snacks with his laser pointer here. Boss is getting swole. Saying that cat is so spoiled. He really is, yeah. Boss is very spoiled. I would like to get a new cat tree at some point. I don't know if I can, though. I feel like the cat tree I have right now is the perfect height where you guys can see everything. But I feel like I need to get a new cat tree because I think Leia wants to... I know Leia likes to lay on there, too. And Boss basically kicks her out. You're really feeding him too many treats. If it makes you feel any better, the dude, on the days where I give him more treats, I give him less dry food. So it kind of cancels each other out. I was actually looking a little bit more into these treats. Apparently, these treats can actually be used as dry food. Like, it says it on the packaging that, like, here's how much you should give if you're using it as, like, dry food. Now, I wouldn't do that because they're, like, more expensive. But on the days where I give him more treats in order to make sure I'm not like actually making him fat, I give him a little bit less regular dry food. I think it's like 1 or 2 calories per treat. I guess that's a lot for a cat. I don't know. Who knows? We'll use the laser pointer though. We'll get him moving, get him exercising. All right, I got one last topic for you guys today. Again, it's slim pickings out here when it comes to PlayStation news. There's been almost zero not zero PlayStation news, but just very minimal. And I just want to cover this with you guys briefly. Did you guys get this update? You should have gotten a new PS5 system update. And this new PS5 system update actually introduced a pretty major feature that I don't think is getting enough attention. And this feature is the new community game help feature. So One of the biggest features that the PS5 launched with was game help. And this sounded really promising at the launch of the PS5 because essentially what it is it's built-in help for a game. Where if you're stuck, hey, here you go. We're going to show you a little video clip on what you're supposed to do. And we got Corey, the legend Landiga, saying, I want to give boss more snacks. Corey drops another 10 bomb on you guys. Corey's doing some heavy lifting for the community today. And on top of that, Disco Cobra coming out of nowhere with a $50 super chat as well. Back to back. You guys are absolutely killing it. Corey, thank you so much, man.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
I'll throw this
Do
in there
not be
too.
sorry. Be
Gotta be better, guys. Gotta be better. But Corey, really appreciate that, bro. You just brought us up to 86 members on the day. I'm gonna add that to the counter. So we are actually very close to hitting the 100 mark. We'll see if we can do that before the time the stream comes to an end. Really appreciate you guys showing such incredible support today. It means a lot. It really does. And Disco, let me read your super chat, dude. Let me just add this to the counter. Boss is like, I need more. I need more snacks. Disco Cobra says here, is Stellar Blade coming out today or tomorrow? I'm not sure it's a game I could get into, but I want to try it anyway, even just to support the developers. I'm more of an arcade racing fan or shooters, mostly Gears or Battlefield. Hope God of War hope, I said God of War. Every time I see GOW, I automatically think God of War. You're saying, I hope Gears of War or Battlefield we get a new one. Well, first off, Disco Cobra, there's a free demo for Stellar Blade. It's coming out tomorrow. I guess technically tonight, but yeah, the release date is April 26th, so it's coming tomorrow. And if you're curious about it, dude, there's a free demo on the PS5 right now. You can download it and play like the first hour or so. So if you're curious to see what it feels like, whether or not it's going to be for you, if you're going to be able to get into that type of combat, third-person combat, definitely download that demo and give it a shot, dude. But I like what you're saying here, though. You want to support the devs. I can get behind that, especially for a game like Stellar Blade, because I've been watching the behind-the-scenes documentary series that they've been releasing on the official PlayStation YouTube channel, and the developers have expressed how they've expressed that they feel it's really important for there to continue to be like AAA single-player console games. And I mean, hey, man, that's what I've been advocating for forever now. So it's like the fact that they're just blatantly coming out here and saying that and expressing how important it is to them. I'm like, yeah, I feel like I really want to. I mean, the game looks awesome to me. You know what I mean? But that's just kind of for me like an added bonus where I feel especially good supporting this developer. But yeah, I would definitely recommend, because you're mentioning here like you play games like Gears of War or Battlefield, you're in like shooters and stuff, or arcade racing games. This definitely is different from that. So I highly recommend downloading the free demo and giving it a shot and seeing if it's for you, because I think you'll know pretty quickly. The demo isn't very long. You could beat it in about an hour, and it does end with a pretty big boss battle, which is cool, because I think the demo basically gives you it doesn't give you too much. It gives you just the right amount to know if it's going to be a game for you. And it's also worth noting that if you do play that demo and you do decide to buy the game, the progress you make in that demo actually carries over to the main game when you buy it. Oh, you're saying there's two bosses in the demo? Oh, yeah, you're right, actually. Yeah. There's one in the beginning and one at the end. I forgot about it. Yeah. 2 boss battles. So they're pretty generous with it. But I also want to add this, Disco Cobra. You're saying you hope for a new Gears of War. It seems there's more evidence coming out that Gears of War 6 is going to be like a major reveal for Microsoft at their showcase in June. So I think you'll be happy about that. But I want to speak to Battlefield here. A new Battlefield game is in development. And man, I do hope that they deliver something great, because I've always been a fan of games like Battlefield and Call of Duty, and I've spent so much time playing both of these games. No, don't do that. But I really feel like Battlefield kind of lost its way a bit. Although I've heard that Battlefield, was it 2042? Yeah, 2042. Stop. Hey, stop. Boss is getting irritable over here. He's like, I demand more snacks. I heard Battlefield 2042 is actually pretty good now, and they pretty much made a comeback. But it's again, I tried playing it, and I'm just like, I don't know. I can't get into this Battlefield. I have such fond memories of games like Battlefield Bad Company 1 and 2, and Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4. I even played games like Battlefield Hardline, which I know a lot of people hated Battlefield Hardline, but I was like, hey, it's pretty fun. And also a shout out to the Battlefield Bad Company 2 Vietnam expansion. Greatest video game expansion I've ever played. But I just feel like at around Battlefield 5 and Battlefield 1 was also great. Shout out to Battlefield 1. That was an amazing game. But once we got to like Battlefield 5, they really started to lose me. And then with by the time Battlefield 2042 rolled around, I was just like, yeah, I don't know. They're losing me, dude. They're losing me. And yeah, exactly. Paul, you know where it's at. The cops, I agree. The cops and robbers mode was really fun. Boss is being so bad right now, guys. Get down. You get down from there right now. He's fucking around too much. Yeah, I remember that canceled Call of Duty Vietnam War game. But yeah, I think we're going to see a new Gears at the Xbox showcase in June. All signs point to that. When we're going to see this new Battlefield game, I'm not sure. I think that might take a little bit longer. But see, here's why I'm very interested in the new Battlefield game. I think Vince Zampella is in charge of it this time. And it's ironic because he used to work for Activision many years ago. He was responsible for Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 from 2009. And so if I'm not mistaken, this is the first proper Battlefield game where he's going to be in charge. There are 3 Battlefield games coming? Are you sure? I mean, wait, 3 Battlefield games. Let me see. 3 Battlefield games. All Battlefield 2025 rumors and leaks so far. Yo, you know what game? February 27th from Insider Gaming, exclusive. EA's next Battlefield game will also have a free-to-play battle royale. Don't do it. Don't do it. They should probably cancel that, dude. I think the battle royale movement is over. Like, this feels like by the time that comes out, it's gonna be like way late. Wait, like, is anybody asking for this? I don't know. I mean, I guess I'd try it, but I feel like the battle royale movement has come and gone, you know? It just feels like way too forced at this point. Yeah, they feel like they're a little bit behind there. But you know what game I'm like dying to hear from soon? Like, I'm actually really dying to learn more about it. It's an EA game. Skate 4, dude. Like, I love the Skate games, and I put so many hours into playing Skate 3. I need to know more about this new Skate game, dude. Because look, I play a lot of live service games from time to time. No, I don't play a lot, but when I do play live service games, I usually get pretty hooked on them. And the game that I've been hooked on, no pun intended, for years is Dead by Daylight. It's like my go-to. I think Skate 4 could do that, bro. Like, Skate is going to be like a free-to-play. I don't know how I feel about it being free-to-play, but I could see that being like my new go-to to just kind of like hang out with friends and play and just have fun. I miss Skate so much. That game was so fun, dude. You never played. You said you love Skate 1 and 2 and never played 3. Dude, 3 is the best. Skate 3 is amazing. That's where I spent most of my time with the Skate series. So, but we haven't heard much from it in a while. I think there's going to be some kind of beta test for it soon. So, Titus, you're saying Jack Frags was actually discussing that there's a massive gap in the market for a company to go all in on a Battlefield type game. Yeah, he's probably right. I mean, I don't think Call of Duty has filled that Battlefield void. I think they tried a little bit and maybe did succeed for a little bit with like Warzone, and I know that they had like those bigger game modes that were kind of like Battlefield modes, like Conquest mode. But yeah, you know, Battlefield should do what Battlefield does because nobody else is really doing that. So we'll see. We'll see, man. And Disco Cobra with another $20 super chat. That's $70 in super chats, dude. Thank you, man. I really, really appreciate that. Disco Cobra's been coming out here, dropping some big super chats for the channel. He says here, I just want a Battlefield Bad Company 3. Fans have been waiting for that for a decade. Even if they don't do it, I want the next one to at least be better than 2042. And yeah, that Skate game is in the works. They do dev updates. Yeah, I've kind of seen them floating around, the developer updates, and I guess I haven't paid too much attention to it because every time they would show it, it's like so early. I'm like, you know what? I don't need to know how the sausage is made. Just being honest. You know, it's interesting sometimes, but I'll just wait. Like with this Skate game, this is one of those games where I'm like, just knowing that it's coming, I just need to know some idea of when it's going to release, and that's all I need. I don't need trailers. I don't need gameplay. I'm going to play it no matter what. Oh, hold on. Am I going to sneeze or not? No, I think I'm good. Okay, I think I'm good. Whew. Oh, I hate that feeling so much. But yeah, Disco, man, I really feel like the biggest mistake that DICE and EA ever made was not continuing the Bad Company series, because Bad Company 2 is peak, bro. Like Battlefield 3 and 4 were also peak, but to me, Bad Company 2 was the true peak of the Battlefield series because it really was doing something that I think like no other game was, where it was bringing those large-scale, big Battlefield moments with amazing balance, amazing destructibility, and just a ton of fucking fun, dude. But they also had a great story where the characters were actually interesting, and the story was pretty funny. It didn't take itself too seriously. I was like, this is really unique and really different, and it's not Call of Duty. Like, it really felt like its own thing. And it's not this... I think like one of the bigger mistakes they made with Battlefield 3 and 4 is if you play the campaigns of Battlefield 3 and 4, they really started to take themselves very seriously. And it really did feel like they were basically trying to be Call of Duty in that sense, where it's like, guys, I don't know. I feel like you should have went more in the direction of Bad Company 1 and 2 and let that kind of be your template, because that's what made Bad Company 1 and 2, especially 2, so good, is again, like, nobody was making a shooter like that at all. So, yeah, exactly. And I 100% agreed. It has to be class-based. None of this hero stuff. Will it, I mean, could that be what Vince Empel is doing? Could he be making a Battlefield Bad Company 3? Maybe. I would hope so. Yeah, I love that game, dude. I have such great memories with Bad Company 2. So much fun. I love sniping in that game as well. Not a lot of games I enjoy like actually sniping in, but Bad Company 2, for some reason, I was pretty good at it. I was like having a blast. So it's like so nostalgic at this point. Where's the time go, dude? It feels like just yesterday I was like trying to... What was the highest rank you could achieve in that? Like 25, I think, if I'm not mistaken. It feels like just yesterday I was playing that game. But... You're saying Battlefield 3 and 4 is nothing like Call of Duty. I was just talking about the campaign. I think the campaign was like taking itself a little too seriously. I agree. Like gameplay wise, Battlefield 3 and 4 are very different from Call of Duty, and they're very good. Battlefield 3 and 4 are amazing games. I just meant like to whereas if you look at the story and the campaign of Bad Company 2, it was a bit more lighthearted and a little bit more silly. And the characters were a little bit silly. And I feel like at that time, Call of Duty, we're talking about games like Modern Warfare 1 and 2, Black Ops, World at War, Black Ops 1. And the campaigns of those Call of Duty games were very serious, which is good. I enjoyed them as well a lot. I love those campaigns. And I just got the feeling that Battlefield with 3 and 4 was basically like, we should try to do that too. It's like, oh, I don't know. But yeah, all great games, truthfully. We have subtext here with the super chat. He says, Metacritic just posted its list of top games of 2024, and Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is still number one. If it carries the year and wins Game of the Year, how much would it help Rebirth? Well, I do think Rebirth could get a huge sales boost, not just if that were to happen. Like if Rebirth were to actually walk away with Game of the Year, I think automatically that boosts its sales potential. But then I also think the PS5 Pro will be out by that time. They could announce like a major PS5 Pro update. And I think they might also at some point do some DLC for Rebirth. And if they can like kind of get all of those things happening at one time, I think it could create a huge not a huge turnaround, but just a huge boost for the game. And I imagine these are all things that Square and Sony are planning, because if the game is selling soft, then they're going to have to, they're going to have plans in place to try to boost those sales at certain moments in time. And I think Game of the Year awards, potentially, that'll boost sales. PS5 Pro, like I said, could definitely boost sales. If Rebirth is one of the games shown off alongside the Pro, that could really help it a lot. And especially if they have some kind of DLC. I think they do. I don't know. Do they have DLC in the works? I think maybe they don't, actually. I'm a little bit unsure about the DLC, because now that I'm thinking about it, they said that they want to have Part 3 ready in the next 3 years. And I can't imagine if they're working on DLC that they're going to have that ready to go. We'll see, though. Yeah, that's impressive, though. That's an impressive feat right now, I would say. We're almost halfway through the year, which is also crazy to think. Again, where does the time go? And it's impressive that Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is still at the number one spot. Okay, let's see here. So subtext, I appreciate that. And again, Disco Cobra, thank you so much for those super chats, bro. And subtext, appreciate that super chat as well. Check here. Oh, I forgot to mention this as well. I got to get better at trying to just let people know about it. If you look at the pinned comment in the chat, there is a link to a direct Streamlabs donation. This is just for anybody. I should probably try pushing this a little bit more, because if you want to donate to me, like as the content creator directly, and you don't want YouTube won't take a percentage, you can click the link in the pinned chat that I have up there. It'll take you to a Streamlabs donation. It functions pretty much just like a super chat, but it's just an alternative to where if you want to do it that way, it's another option, and 100% of it goes to me as the creator. I forgot to mention that. I gotta start mentioning that at the beginning of my stream so people know. Oh man. All right. Let me go check Twitter real quick. MBG, hope you get well soon. Here's a few things that might help. Chili/spicy food, hot vegetable soup, hot lemon and ginger, drink menthol, oranges, carrot juice. Thank you for that. Somebody on Twitter was giving me some advice on how to help myself feel better. I appreciate that, dude. Whoever that was. Drink menthol. I'm gonna drink menthol. Can you drink menthol? I don't think you can drink menthol. No, I guess you can. I think you can, because if you have like a cough drop that has menthol in it, you're basically drinking it. I can't stand menthol, dude. I know it's supposed to help when you're sick, but I hate the way menthol makes me feel. It feels so weird. How do you drink menthol? Boss, you gonna drink menthol? Okay. He's too fixated on the birds. Inject synthol into your arms. Oh, man. Why would anybody ever do that to themselves, dude? Have you ever seen these guys? These dudes that, they inject synthol into their muscles, and it's like, what is wrong with you? Why would you ever do that to yourself? Sorry if I keep making obnoxious noises into the mic. You love menthol. When you smoke cigs, you smoked menthol. Yeah, some people really like menthol and the way it makes them feel. I was never a fan. Oh, I just got this message from Mrs. MBG. Apparently, I'm 20 minutes late with this message, but apparently somebody in the chat, or maybe a few people in the chat, were asking about Leia. Oh God. She wanted me to let you guys know that Leia is a bit shy, and Leia is the way she is because when we adopted her, she was a stray. So she was a stray cat, and she was already a year old, a year and a half, that is, until someone turned her into the local shelter. And she was actually pregnant, and she had a piece of her ear missing. So she went through some shit, and Leia's been through some shit prior to when we adopted her. And Mrs. MBG has a soft spot for, some of the cats that were having a rough go. She's a little bit skittish. She's a little bit paranoid, and that's why she's not here as often. But I just wanted to let you guys know that I think that's one of the reasons why Boss and Leia are so different, because Boss we got as a kitten, and Leia was a little bit older when we got her, and as time went on, we kind of noticed like she's pretty skittish and very nervous. But she's very nice. Like Leia's very nice. She's very loving, and she's just kind of one of these cats that when she wants to make her presence known, she will, and she's very talkative. One of these days I'm gonna have to film Leia meowing and talking, because I've never seen a cat more talkative than Leia. She may be very scared and nervous, but she talks a lot, dude. She does. And there's just like sometimes she'll just be following me around meowing the whole time. And I'm like, what are you trying to tell me? She's got the streets in her. Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad we got Leia though, because I think she's had a pretty good life. I don't know what her life was like for the first year and a half, but I know that ever since we got her, we've taken good care of her, and she's been pretty happy, from what I can tell. She's a nice cat. What's funny though too is like she may be a little bit more scared, but she's way more social than Boss is, which is so funny to me. She is a more of a scared cat, more of a nervous cat, but she actually is way more social. If people are over my home, she'll like go up to them and meow at them and let them pet her. Boss is not like that. Boss is like the opposite. I don't know if it's because he's a male cat, but Boss is extremely territorial. He will sometimes go up to people and let them pet him, but people are like afraid of Boss, bro, because he's just like, he's very, everybody's sus to him. Weird dynamic with my cats, but took care of a feral cat for like 8 years. That's cool. Yeah, there's this cat that wanders around my home. I've seen this cat for years. It's like a white cat. Um, and I guess it's just a stray cat that I guess survives, and it seems very good at surviving because I've seen this cat for years, and sometimes I'll put some cat food outside. I don't know if it's a boy or a girl cat, but I put some cat food outside for it when I see it, and it seems pretty appreciative of that. Am I team dog or team cat? I mean, I guess right now I lean more towards team cat just because I have cats, but I like dogs too. Boss is built like Vulcan Raven. That's awesome. I think that's the best comparison I've seen. He's built like Vulcan Raven. Chad A, you're saying you have a cat exactly like Leia. Yeah, cats are interesting. They kind of all have unique personalities in a way. But let me let me just get back on topic here just for a moment because there was this last topic I wanted to just talk to you guys about briefly, and it is the community game help feature. As I mentioned earlier, um, when Sony released the PS5, they released what they called game help, and the idea was developers would be able to make like custom short snippet videos accompanied with text that if you got stuck in a certain part of a game, you could click the game help feature. And I used this a couple of times, not often. And it was a great feature. It was basically just so instead of pulling out your phone and YouTubing or Googling how to get past a certain part, you could just do it right through the game itself. And it was, when it was done right, when it was taken advantage of properly by the devs, it was very helpful. And you know, the problem though is it seemed like it really didn't get much support, the game help feature, because I think most developers were not willing to spend that extra time to, you know, to do that because it seemed like it was pretty time consuming. So now what this new update is doing, and yeah, I think one of the latest games to feature game help was Spider-Man 2, but what this new update is doing is it's going to allow the community to essentially power game help. And you can opt into this. So if you go into the settings of your PS5, let me see here. Once you've updated your console to the latest system software, go to captures and broadcasts, underneath captures, and then auto captures, community game help, you can click participate. Now you have to opt in, but once you participate, you will be able to create your own tips, I think. Let me read here to get more details on how this works. You will start to see community-generated hints show up in Grand Blue Fantasy Relink and also in Stellar Blade when the game launches this Friday. Support for more games will be added over time. Okay, so I didn't know that. So this is going to be on a game-by-game basis, but the two games that are kicking it off are Stellar Blade and Grand Blue Fantasy Relink. It says here, when the PS5 console launched in 2020, we introduced game help to enable players to easily access hints, tips, or walkthrough videos without leaving the game to help them progress through the level, obtain a trophy, or find a coveted hidden item. We're always evolving the PS5 console experience, and today we're happy to announce a new enhancement for game help launching this year, Community Game Help. So I think this is very cool. Like I hope all games eventually support this, or like all AAA games anyway, because I think that's actually a really smart idea where it's like, yeah, you can't really expect all game developers to do this for their games, but if we can get the community to help, I know a lot of people would love to do this. So Eric from 850, member for 6 months, says, I'm late, so I don't know if anybody made this joke yet, but I'm sure the community can assume you're playing the Fallout 4 Next Gen update that dropped today. No, I'm not. I did see that, though. Also, you're saying, I don't know if anybody made this joke yet. I did see people talking about this, and Fallout seems to be having a pretty significant resurgence right now because of the Amazon show. And I like, I've always said, man, I think people always thought I was kind of bullshitting when I said that I'm not interested in Bethesda's RPGs. I'm not, dude. Like, I never have been. I don't have any problems with them, but I never saw the appeal of Fallout. I don't know why. I don't have anything against it. It just never spoke to me. And that's why I'm not interested in the show. But yeah, I'm not playing the next gen update, but I did see the other day that Fallout 4 was actually like at the number 9 spot in the most played games on the top 10 on PS5. So yeah, it seems like Bethesda and Microsoft are making some smart moves with the Fallout IP. Oh, you're saying just because I know you don't enjoy Bethesda games? Okay. All right. Yeah. Eric knows. That's cool though. I think I think they did it really smart though, to be honest. Like, this is the way to do it, where it's like, put out your show. The show is very well received. Suddenly gets a ton of people either reinterested or interested for the first time in this game, and then drop your update. And holy shit. What? Hold on. Let me rub my eye. Guys, am I hallucinating here? Hold on now. Did I just see Big MP come out of literally nowhere? Literally out of nowhere, and drop a fucking 50 bomb on you guys? Hold on. Yeah, no, my eyes are not deceiving me. Big MP came out and just dropped 50 membership gifts for you guys. A fucking 50 bomb, bro. Are you kidding me? I apologize if I don't seem as enthusiastic as I should. Believe me, I am. It's this illness, man. It's really fucking me up. God damn, though.
Holy shit.
That is... I know Big MP loves Boss, bro. We know Big MP loves Boss. That's wild, though, man. Dude, that's so funny. People always say, like, yo, when's he going to come in? When's he going to drop more membership gifts? And then he just randomly comes in out of nowhere. No, thank you so much for that, though, bro. That's, wow. We are at 136 members now because of that. That is truly insane. I did not see that coming. Quite the flex right there. Yeah, dude, that's boss cam. Big MP's not playing around today. He came in and he fucking... Wow. Yeah, we're at 100. So let me see. It's going to take a while for all these names to pop up. But when I update this, yeah, let me see if I can... Yeah, I can update it now. We're at 136 from that, dude. So it seems like I'm going to have to give Boss some more treats. I wasn't sure if we were going to do it, but holy shit. He just crushed 2 goals. 2 goals. Let me show you where we're at now. Look at that. He's a madman. He's a madman. Laurent says that came out of nowhere. It did. All right, boss. Come on. You want more? Come on. All right, not too many now. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Boss is getting really spoiled today, dude. That's 3 snacks. 3 different snack drops for Boss. I would have done reps, and I feel really bad that I can't do any today. But yeah, just one more time, man. Big shout out to as he likes to be called, Big MP here, for dropping a 50 bomb. Was not expecting that, man. And that pretty much locked today in as a massive day for membership gifts. And yeah, I just can't thank you guys enough. I love being able to do this. I love being able to run the channel, to do the streams, to grow the community. and you guys coming out showing such amazing support. Again, even during slow times like this, it means everything. So thank you guys so much for that. And actually, this is a oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I just scared the shit out of Boss with my cough there. Did you see that? I made him jump. Sorry, Boss. Angry Well Watcher, you're saying I also feel like garbage. I think it's the allergies. Yeah, no, for me, it's definitely a virus. I wish it was just. I thought at first it was allergies, but no, not for me. He had the power to take the hat off, too. He did, yeah. He wielded that great power. He was like, no, bro, keep it on. I'm like, all right. Isn't that the person that holds the record on this channel most in one day? Yes. Yeah. Yeah, that was sometime last year. I forget when exactly it was. It was just, I don't think it was a special occasion either. But he went nuts. Yeah, he basically like matched all the membership donations, and we had like hundreds of membership donations, and he actually matched them all. It was insane. Yeah, I mean that's this community, man. You guys are something else, something special here. Really appreciate it. Sorry if I sound like such a broken record, but I'm extremely thankful. Like really though, I am. I'm very thankful for the community we have here. That was a crazy stream, dude. That was a crazy day. Last year was pretty crazy looking back on it. What is the record? Oh man, I know it's like a ridiculous number. Does anybody remember what the record was? I'd have to go back and look to know exactly. I know it was a ridiculous number though. It was like hundreds. Yeah, it was like 6 something, I think. It was like 6 something. No, it was more than 300. It was wild. I think the record is like 631 or something like that. Because I think we were over like we had like 300 and something members, and then he matched it by basically dropping over 300 gifts at one time, which was crazy. Yeah, it was a wild stream. 638. Yeah, something like that. I should probably drink more of this. I gotta stay hydrated. Well, with that being said, though, Paul says, now that's triple anus. I did finish up all of my topics, though. So what I'm going to do now, I feel bad. I'm sorry, guys. I definitely will not be able to do a members lounge today. I can feel that my medicine's starting to wear off, and I don't have much time left before I basically crash. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to chill with you guys for a little while. Where are we at? We're almost at 2 hours and 40 minutes. So maybe we could chill for another like 10 or 15 minutes or so. And I just want to hang out with you guys a bit and chat. We'll do like I'm not going to call it a members lounge, but it's a little hangout session here. From one person or in total? No, I think that was in total. From one person, my God. No time left. I got to go to the astral realm. Laurent, you're saying you're also just resting, just sitting here. Yeah, well, I mean, hey, man, you just had like major heart surgery. So, yeah, it's hard. I think it takes a certain level of discipline, I do believe, to properly rest. Because I don't know. I go kind of crazy, You know, that's why I hate getting sick, dude. I mean, obviously everybody hates getting sick because of the way you feel, but it's always tough when you feel so subdued. But it's part of life, I guess. I don't know, I just keep trying to have this mindset of like, just keep pushing forward, just keep pushing through, you know? Things will get better. Oh, yeah, that's rough. You're saying that the doctors say it will take anywhere from 6 months to a year to recover? Damn. Wait, Devil, you're saying it was 1,062-ish. You know what? I think you're right. I think I'm misremembering. I think it was I think we did break 1,000. Yeah, no, you're right. It was fucking something totally ridiculous. You're right. Because I remember, I think we were at 300 for a little while, and then he said he would match it, and that encouraged people to get it up to like 500, and then he like fucking totally just actually did it. Yeah, it's even crazier than we remember. It was like a blur looking back. I was like in disbelief. Good times, man. Good times. Now, if only Microsoft would do something stupid again so we can have another crazy stream like that. I'm just kidding. Although Microsoft probably will do something stupid. By the way, is anybody playing Sea of Thieves today? I know that the early access started. Sea of Thieves is officially out on PlayStation now. Yeah, bring back the Blue Box streams. One day. Eric from 850 says, okay, I was going to try to break a single record, but never mind. I'm going to stay in my lane. Yeah, that'll be a hard record to break, dude. I don't know if that's ever going to be broken. But again, anybody, look, it's not about breaking records. It's great when we do, but anybody who shows support, like I always say, man, it means a lot. 1,052. MBG stay alive to fight the Hornets with WD-40 this summer. Oh my, dude, Gaming Schreier doesn't forget anything I ever say. He really remembers this shit. That's funny. Oh, you know what though? I think I am going to need to get some WD-40 because I know there's like a spot in my backyard where a bunch of yellow jackets like to congregate. I'm going to have to do something about that. Remember Hideo's neck, bro? Oh, I remember. Hanzo. I'm glad you remember too. I'm glad you're here reminding me of this so we can all remember together that time that I was going so insane over the blue box thing that I thought I was analyzing Kojima's necklines. I was fucking insane, bro. I think people got so much entertainment value out of it because they were watching a person lose their mind in real time. Hey, don't do that. Hey, you know what? It was a humbling experience, though. You're being very bad. It was a very humbling experience, let me tell you. All right, let's see. I think Boss has become more skilled over time, I think, with his chasing of the laser. Because I remember I used to have a laser pointer a long time ago, and he just like sucked at it. Now he's really good. Come on, boss. We got to burn off some of those snacks. That's funny. Let me see what you guys are saying here. Hassan was an actor. Yeah, I really did go off the deep end. To be fair, though, like, listen, to be fair, looking back at the Blue Box situation, I was being severely gaslit by the supporters of it as well, though, you know? Where, like, there were many moments where I was like, I don't know about this, but then everybody was like, yeah, bro, I think you're onto something, and it just really kind of made me feel like this has to be real, right? Come on, can we acknowledge for a second, bro? It's April 2024. You can still download the Abandoned Real-Time Experience on the PS5. Like, what the fuck? Yeah, I talked to Hassan as well. So I got gaslit by Hassan himself. You know? That was crazy. Like, come on, bro. That was the craziest shit ever. Yeah, you're right. Eric from 850, you're like, everybody was making videos on it. Everybody was talking about it. I mean, I think I took it a little further than most people, but how is that still on the PlayStation Store though, dude? How is that still on the PlayStation Store? Like, don't you guys think that's a little weird that it's still there? Good job, boss. You win. Boss really likes this laser pointer. I didn't think he would like it. Let me go check something. Oh, man. Um, yeah, I just went to go check to see if the Blue Box Game Studios Twitter was still a thing. Yeah, their Twitter's still a thing. They still have a website, and if you click on it, it says we're updating the website. Subscribe to our newsletter to be the first to receive our news and updates. What? What news and updates? And again, the last post, a retweet from Blue Box Game Studios, IGN, November 3rd, 2022. Hideo Kojima has confirmed his lack of involvement in the development of Blue Box Game Studios Abandoned. We want to thank Hideo Kojima for addressing the conspiracies openly. It has been a burden and not cool for both fans and developers. We hope everyone can close this for good. We are working hard on Abandoned and would like to thank you for all of your patience. Shit's so fucking... so sus, bro. Like, so sus. And then the blog post for Abandon is still up. April 7th, 2021. Abandon, a cinematic survival sim, hits PS5 later this year. Hassan Karaman, Blue Box game director. Dude, what the fuck, bro? The comments are closed. So fucking weird. It's just weird to look back on it. Yeah, 2021, dude. It's just weird to look back on it, and I don't know what's weirder. Like, everything about it was strange, but am I the only one that finds it kind of strange that this shit is still just lingering around? You know? Like, I would have thought that something would have happened. Who knows? Yeah, I know. Where's the time go? I can't believe it was like almost 3 years ago. Let me see, is the abandoned trailer still up? Yep, it's still up from 3 years ago. It's got 1.8 million views. I want to go see. Hold on, I'm on the official abandoned announcement teaser for PS5. This is 3 years ago. For some reason, it says abandoned 2018. I don't know why it says that. I want to go see the most recent comments. Most recent comment from 3 days ago, from Q4 2021 to Q1 2024, Sony. From 1 month ago, Sony supports scams. People are still leaving comments, dude. 2 months ago, somebody left a comment saying they took this game title too literally. 2 months ago, somebody says Kojima is still in on this. What the fuck, dude? So there are people that are still coming back to this video and leaving comments. MBG, it gave people something else to think about besides COVID. I think it was Kojima, ultimately. I know that sounds ridiculous, but I think it was. And here's why I think that. Like, not in some crazy conspiratorial way. I just think, I remember when I was obsessed with the marketing of Metal Gear Solid 5, I remember that Kojima, he was talking about what he did with, like, the Moby Dick game studios and trying to, like, fool everybody. And he talked about something else he wanted to do in the future. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about, but Kojima basically said that he wants to do something even crazier in the future. And he even went as far to say that he was kind of afraid that he would be taking it too far and it would actually, like, it would end his career and, like, people would tell him, like, you're done. Like, this is what he was saying. He was saying that he wanted to do something even crazier than what he did with Moby Dick Game Studios. And, but he was kind of afraid to do it out of fear that it'd be taking it too far. And he never elaborated on what that was. He just made it known that he had this crazy idea. But I will never forget, all right, I will never forget that in 2021, at around the same time all this blue box shit was going on. And again, this was, in the middle of, like, it's kind of the height of coming off of the pandemic and shit. I remember when Kojima was being interviewed by Jeff Keighley, and he was asked, like, about his next game. And I remember him just saying, he was being translated, but he said something like he needs to deliver something faster, like now. I remember he was like, there was, like, kind of like this emphasis from Kojima where he felt like, I'm trying to make it make sense, but he was basically, he made it sound like he was trying to do something in the here and now that was, like, as it was kind of evolving, like the way he was talking about it. And I just thought that was kind of strange because it's like, I remember at the time I was like pointing out to you guys, I'm like, anybody going to kind of point out that this is the way Kojima's talking about his next game as we're looking at this fucking project called Abandoned Real-Time Experience? I'm telling you, at some point in the future, we will probably find out that Kojima was actually behind it. I just don't think we're going to find out anytime soon. Yeah, that's the thing. You're saying if it was him, do you think he'd come out and admit it in the future? Listen, I think this is exactly what he was talking about in the past when he said that he wants to do something crazy that no one's ever done, but he feels like it might be taking it too far. I think this could be what it sounds like. That's exactly what this is, because think about what happened, dude. Like, it got taken too far. Like, I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if in the end he, like, maybe like years down the line we find out he'll just be like, yeah, that was me. Like, maybe when he's actually like going to be retiring or something, or it's just he's really old and it's so many years later. It's like, yeah, that was me, and like no one will care because it's like so much time has went by. They'll be like, we'll care, I'll care. Be like 40-year-old MBG coming out being like, I fucking knew it. But I just think the whole thing is so bizarre, and I just still, even to this day, I don't really think about it anymore. But when I do think about it and I look back, I'm like, shit was just too weird, man. Where it's like, how? Like, how could just some random dude named Hassan Karaman, how could just some random dude convince so many people and get the attention of everybody? And honestly, pushing polygons, what you just said, that's what's interesting to me when looking back at it, is you just said, like, dude, it gave people, it was a distraction. Like, it gave people something different to talk about and not to focus on COVID and all this shit. And I mean, I don't know. Could that have been the intention? Yeah, it's weird shit. I don't know. See, where things started to get really weird to me, though, and I have to admit that, like, people were saying that Hassan Karaman was like a hired actor, and it's like, I mean, could he have been? Maybe. I don't know. Because no one ever questioned him, MBG. He was never met with any real degree of skepticism or scrutiny. Saying, yeah, it was a nothing burger, just let it go. I mean, look, I've let it go a while ago. It's just, it's still fun to, again, man, I just find it weird that nobody's acknowledging. And I guess there's no reason to acknowledge it at this point. But if you do go on the Blue Box Twitter, like, their last post is just a picture of fucking Kojima saying, like, yeah, I'm not involved. You know what I mean? It's just like, how is this the ending of this? Like, that's how it ends? With a fucking just big picture of Kojima plastered right on the Twitter, and they're never heard from again. So fucking weird, dude. You're saying Colin's interview made him... Oh, yeah, I forgot. I forgot that Colin already interviewed him. Yeah, that was weird. That's where I feel like if he was a hired actor... Yeah, I don't know. It's probably all just... Maybe Kojima was just pissed, man. He's like, how is this guy doing this? Yeah, that was an interesting interview. I don't know. Maybe we'll never know, man. Maybe we'll never know. I'll just never forget, though. I will say, looking back on it, I will never forget how... I will never forget, like, how that just took over the industry. And that, to me, will always be the strangest thing about it, man. Is for something that is not, by this point in time, something that's supposed to just truly be like a a scam or a bunch of bullshit. I will never be able to understand or comprehend how something like that could completely consume the entire industry for months at a time. It's very strange. I don't know how, like, maybe it was just stroke of luck, you know? This guy, Hassan Karaman, got in too deep, and I don't know. It's weird shit, dude. Weird shit. He sat at home pulling all the strings. That was the game. Why are we still here just to suffer? I think he was just testing a theory. And, you know, that's my whole thing, dude. Like, and this is why it's still, even looking back on it, it's still hard to, because like when I start to remember more vividly the moments that occurred, I think one of the reasons why I lost my mind was because I just refused to believe. I'm like, dude, this is next level shit that's going on here. I'm like, I'm supposed to believe just some random nobody, just this random dude out of nowhere named Hassan Karaman. How is he doing this? Like, you know what I mean? The way it was pulled off is it seemed like there was some kind of big, like you're saying, like kind of team behind it, or just something that was going on behind the scenes, like manipulating shit. I always got that sense, and instead we were always just met with like, no, it's just some one random dude scamming and trolling. And I'm like, how is that fucking possible? A social experiment. I mean, that to me seems like the most plausible. Like it was some kind of social experiment. One day, dude, one day we're going to get our answers. I hope we do, because right now we have nothing. Yeah, and his name translates to Hideo Kojima. Get the fuck out of here with this shit. See, I don't even want to go back. I'm starting to get mad. Because it's just like there really was just too much. Sony, please delete this trailer. The game is canceled, waiting 2 years for a playable demo. Their website is also abandoned. I seriously don't understand what idiot got the benefit of him lying about this, and why did Sony back him up? Did they fund them and they ran with their money? Dude, these are comments from just 3 months ago. People still want answers, dude. That's crazy. We should do a flashback stream. Yeah, that could make for some good members lounge content for sure. Well, there's only one thing that is real about this game after all, and the fact that it's abandoned. The trailer before the day before. If you watch this muted, it's 4 low frame rate GIFs and a 20 FPS campfire with some PlayStation branding. Why is this and the app still even up on the PlayStation Store at this point? It makes no sense. I'm actually, guys, I gotta say, I'm genuinely surprised to see how many comments this video still gets. Granted, it's not like a ton, but comments 2, 3, 4 months old, like people just kind of coming back and best game. This comment has 39 upvotes from 4 months ago. Best game ever crossed over into the real world and became abandoned. The footsteps in the trailer were actually Hassan abandoning the game. Dude, it has become legendary. It's becoming legend, dude. That's what's so fascinating about this. Is it is, as more time goes on, it is becoming legend. This scam created one of the funniest comment sections to look at. Hassan gets sued. What happened to this game? LOL. My guess is that they hyped this game so much that in the end we are getting a Silent Hill 2 remake. The fact that this dude managed to trick Sony into putting up this trailer is hilarious. About time to delete this teaser. Crazy that this fake game is on the official PlayStation channel. The voiceover is really pictures that the game is a scam. Abandoned. So many comments just saying abandoned. Anyone checking out the scam trailer in 2023? Damn, dude. Yeah, it's good times, man. Good times. If MBG had hair, that's when he would have pulled it out. Exactly. Here's another theory I have. I still have one. I'm curious what you guys think of this. I think I even said this back then, but do you remember how, and to me, this was the weirdest thing that maybe signified it wasn't Kojima, is you remember how like Hassan or the Blue Box Twitter, they kept teasing what seemed to be both Silent Hill and Metal Gear. And that basically got people super hyped because they're like, holy shit, is both Silent Hill and Metal Gear coming back? And if you think about where we ended up, like a year or two later, we ended up, Silent Hill is coming back. Silent Hill 2 remake is happening. A new Silent Hill game is happening. And Metal Gear's coming back. Metal Gear Solid 3 remake. Like, what if this was Konami's attempt? Like, what if Konami just had the dumbass idea of being like, we can do Kojima's marketing better than he does, you know? And they basically tried to copy, like do something that maybe Kojima would do, you know? And this was like going to be their grand way of revealing, like, here's Silent Hill and Metal Gear coming back, but it like totally backfired on them. It's pretty stupid. I feel like it kind of like it falls apart the more I think about it, but it's just like that to me was the weirdest thing is like whatever Blue Box was kept trying to tease Silent Hill and Metal Gear. And ultimately we did get Silent Hill and Metal Gear, but totally separate. And meanwhile, Kojima's like, yeah, that's not me, bro. So I don't know. Maybe Konami really just, I don't know. I would like to get some answers. Do you think if I were to DM, so if you go to the Blue Box Game Studios Twitter, their DMs are open, dude. You think I should slide into Blue Box's DMs and be like, bro, what's going on? Long time no talk. Can we get an update? I should. I should DM them. I'm like I'm like a little bit afraid though, to be honest, because it's like, damn, bro. It's a little bit spooky. Because like, who would I even be talking to? Like, is this Hassan? Is this an AI? Was Hassan an AI? What's going on? Boss, please, bro, you can't eat that cord. Bro, I see a 70-year-old playing games. That will be me. You're making me mad, boss. Come on. Ask him if he has abandoned this game. It's like I send a DM and I'm like, hey, did you actually abandon this game? Did you abandon? And they just reply, yes. It's going to a Japanese server. You're saying my theory that it's Konami is plausible? I mean, I could see Konami maybe being like, this is how we're going to announce the comeback of Silent Hill and Metal Gear, and we're going to kind of do it in a way that maybe Kojima's marketing would have done it, and then maybe it just completely backfired where it's like, oh, this is not working. Boss, get out. I'm willing to bet that there isn't even anyone working at Blue Box. It's all smoke and mirrors. His latest claim is he wants to make a demo. Yeah, I mean, again, at this point, I think the truth is, I think at this point, no matter how weird all of it was, I think the most likely answer is it was just ultimately bullshit, which is sad, but there's really not much else to go off of anymore. And it could have just been one major troll, and I guess crazier things have happened. I don't know. I'll just never forget how convinced I was, though, man. I really was convinced, like, there's something going on here. Like, I really felt that. I was like, dude, there's more to this, right? Like, there has to be. At the very least, we could say it was entertaining. We got the demo. We demoed being abandoned in real time. See, that's what I mean. When you think about it, it almost is borderline genius, dude. You know what I mean? Like, because I know people were like really hating on it, but it's like, think about it. Think about everything that they, you know what I mean? And every time Hassan would try to defend them and say, we're not scammers, he was basically saying, like, we haven't asked you for any money. We didn't take anything from you, maybe except your time. And that's true. And it's like, it's almost borderline genius where it's like, let's make a game called Abandoned Real-Time Experience where we literally abandon people in real time. They experience that in real fucking time. You remember when when we got that 4-second trailer in Unreal Engine 5? So weird. So fucking weird. Yeah, Konami tried to do their own ARG marketing ploy, and it backfired. Well, think about it, though, too. Think about this. See, the whole Konami theory, that one still might hold water, because now that I'm thinking about it, when we were being teased with that 4-second teaser, right? Like, remember how everybody pointed out that it looked like James Sunderland? And it was apparently rendered in Unreal Engine 5. Well, what is Silent Hill 2 Remake? Silent Hill 2 Remake is, James Sunderland in Unreal Engine 5. And you remember when they teased out what was supposed to be Metal Gear? It was like this blurred picture of a dude with an eye patch, and it looked like it could be Snake, but you couldn't really tell. And then what Metal Gear game is being remade? MGS3 Remake. The one where it's Big Boss and he gets his eye patch. It's like, I don't know, dude. It's just, I'm really almost wondering if this really was like a total fuck up on Konami's part. And I'll never forget. Listen, I know I clearly, like, I feel a little bit better now, which is nice. But I remember when I talked to Hassan that one time, when I talked to him, I remember asking him directly. I was like, so are you guys like making Silent Hill? And he had said, he was being really shady about it. He was like, well, we're thinking like we might be able to talk to Konami and we might be able to convince them that we can make Silent Hill, that, we can do this. Maybe we can make another Silent Hill. And I remember him playing that or saying that. And I was like, what? So is that a maybe? Like, it's very strange. Anyway, yeah, it's fun to from time to time reminisce on the whole Blue Box saga. I think I don't think we'll ever get something like that again. I don't think we'll ever get something quite like that. To me, that's something that can only happen one time. And we experienced it 2021. In the future, people will. Oh yeah, and that's another thing too, B Flesher, that kind of backs up the Konami situation. Is they kept saying, remember how it's like, oh, we're gonna put out like a demo, or there's gonna be a demo, and everybody was thinking, oh, it's just gonna be like a PT-esque demo, and then here we are. Konami eventually did release the short message, and they seemingly tried to make it somewhat similar. Like they tried to have like some of the same energy as like when PT came out. So who knows, man? Who knows? Maybe it's best we don't know. But oh god. See, Michael Werneth has entered the chat. Michael, were you around for the Blue Box days? Actually, now I'm thinking about it, I wonder how many people here weren't around for the Blue Box days, because I kind of forget that it's been years. Some of you guys might have not even been subscribed to the channel or part of the channel then. Shinji, you were? TR Neo says I was. Jakey Steve says on and off. Ray was here. Bro, I think I'm gonna make a shirt. I'm not even kidding. I think I'm gonna make a shirt and just put on it "Remember Blue Box" with a blue box. I'm about to make a shirt that says that. Remember Blue Box? You say you've been watching me since 2018, 2019, on and off. All right, so you were around for that, Michael. Good stuff. Dark Horse, you're saying thoughts on PS Plus players having to pay $20 for the free update for Fallout 4, even though this might be a bug. I find it to be a problem on Sony. That has to be a bug, right? I haven't heard anything about this. $20. No, boss. No. Get down. I haven't heard anything about that. Is that a real thing? That must be a bug. Let me see real quick if I can find anything. PlayStation support confirms those with PS Plus version of Fallout 4 will get the free PS5 upgrade. Okay. So this was posted 3 hours ago. Somebody was in a chat with PS support, and it says that's a PlayStation expert, not an actual support employee. They don't receive up-to-date info about everything, so take it with a grain of salt. This person says it's definitely a bug because I even lost my purchase of the season pass I paid for 2 weeks ago. Can't wait for it to get fixed so I can play it again. All right, it seems like it's a bug. Yeah, it seems like it's going to be a bug and it's going to be fixed. So my assumption is that's because that would be very stupid. And the Genius 200X says, boy, do I remember we had some wild speculations. Yeah, I know you were there, Genius. That was good times, bro. Good times. Devil Shooter saying you're updating Fallout 4 right now and it's free. Okay. And Michael, you're saying I can't say I was one of the first OGs, but I liked MVG's passion back in the day. He just loved talking PlayStation. Yeah, a lot of good times on the channel, man. I'm ready, dude. I'm ready for that passion to get reignited, you know? I feel like it's been a long time since Sony's really brought the house down, so to speak. Remember Jeffrey the No, it wasn't Jeffrey. It was Jeffrey the Fly, I think, right? I appreciate, for those who've been, I appreciate everybody, but, definitely a shout out to those who've been watching for years, man. Ride or die, you know? It does mean, like, I don't know how long I'm going to do YouTube for, you know? I could imagine myself doing it for as long as I'm around. I don't know. Do I imagine myself being an elder man doing YouTube? Maybe. Could you see? Are we still going to be here? Are we going to be congregating on YouTube Live 30 years from now? reminiscing on the blue box scenario. It's possible. Never stop. I don't plan on stopping. I feel very lucky to be able to do this. And it means a lot when I see people that you know, they've been riding with us for a long time. You know, we're always looking to bring on new viewers and stuff as well, of course, new community members. Hassan just dropped a membership gift. Holy shit. That's funny. We'll be here in 50 years, man. Well, I'm 30 years old. So I could, yeah, man, as long as nothing crazy happens. I mean, who knows what could happen? Nobody knows the future, but I could see myself doing this for many, many years to come. Guys, what if I told you that I was behind the blue box situation the whole time? That's going to be my secret revelation to you guys when I retire from YouTube. I'm going to prove to you that I was actually Hassan the whole time. I was behind the whole thing. Could you imagine that? Yeah, I wish. I wish I was that smart. No chance. Plot twist. Wouldn't that be the craziest plot twist though? People would be like, "Bro, what?" M. Night Shyamalan twist. I'm glad I'm feeling a little bit better. MBG doing abandon for those clicks. No, it actually wasn't just for clicks, dude. I mean, it did get the clicks, but it was like trust me, dude. That was like passion driven from the start. I do remember my Hassan phone call. Yes. Didn't I run a Blue Box podcast? No, I don't think I ran a Blue Box podcast. The genius with a $5 super chat says we were one more rumor away from getting it tatted on our asses. By the way, what is that link you set up so I can send tips? Prefer you get the full cash. So yeah, well, that's first off, that's very true, genius. We were very close to just going all in, bro. But the link is for Streamlabs. It's the streaming service I use. They basically just offer a way for you to do exactly what you just mentioned. You can tip/donate directly, and it goes through Streamlabs. It's legitimate. Again, I use their service, and we did test this out with Kirby Shaw and Ghetto God, and 100% of it does go to me, and YouTube doesn't get a cut of that. So if that's something you want to do, genius, that's certainly an option. But I have a request. If you do this to anybody, listen, if anybody clicks this donation, I have a request, and that is there's an option to add a GIF to your donation alert, and I haven't seen that yet. I'm curious to know if that actually works, like if the GIF actually plays on screen when the notification comes. So if anybody does decide to donate that way, please add a GIF alert, because I'm curious. Joshua Reese, that's an interesting idea. Yeah, so right now what I'm trying to do, that's true too, Space Gambler. I gotta put this link in more places for people to see, because I haven't been doing a good job at notifying people and letting them know that there's another option now. Ghetto God, you're saying MBG, you can add incentive to get people to use Streamlabs by making donations with different sound clips and GIFs for different prices. Is that a thing you can do? Does Streamlabs take a cut like YouTube? I don't think so. No, I think it's just other than tax. I think they tax it. Other than that, no, 100% of it goes. Yeah, they have. What's interesting about this, though, because I'm looking at this, it says $1, $3, $5, $10. Is $10 the max it goes up to? Or can you? Oh, no, never mind. I guess you can type in however much you want. Okay. Yeah, I haven't really looked too deeply into it. You can do your $100 donation and make it have the holy shit sound clip and put your own GIF. That's interesting. I didn't know it was. I didn't know that was a thing you could do. Interesting. Yeah, it's fascinating. It's nice to have this option, though, I will say. I mean, obviously, I appreciate the way anybody wants to support. If you want to support with memberships, super chats, but just having another alternative here for people is nice as well. I mean, dude, it would, if I could convert all of the fan funding that I get on YouTube so that YouTube doesn't take a cut, that would be fucking crazy helpful. But I don't mind YouTube. It's hard for me to be upset with YouTube taking a cut because it's like, well, they are providing everything here. You know what I mean? They do have the platform. So, Laurent, you're saying, damn, ABG, I feel for you hearing you being so sick. I think I can tell you right now, I sound worse than I am. I have that thing going on where it's like I sound super nasally because of the congestion, but I am starting to feel a little bit better. Klashenkov says, should I donate 500? Sure, bro. Let's see what happens. I'm not going to say no to a $500 donation, but that's on you, man. Oh, sheesh. But you are providing the content, MBG. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I just try not to be I just don't want to come off as greedy sounding, you know what I mean? Where it's like, damn YouTube for taking my fucking money. I mean, look, man, I just feel privileged to be able to even make money doing this, Wait, Klashenkov says, if I do, I won't have any left. Well, don't do that. Everybody in the chat's like, do it, bro, do it. No, I'm not going to encourage that. Don't. If that's the only money you have, man, I don't know that would be a wise decision. Don't do that. Does MBG have the Rona? I think I do. Well, check this out. I don't know. Mrs. MBG was looking into it, and apparently, if you have COVID, specifically carrots, I'm not kidding. Apparently, carrots specifically help fight COVID. Specifically carrots, and she's been eating carrots and feeling a lot better. And I'm like, okay, I'm about to fucking. Klashenkov says, no, I'm talking about balls. Oh. I guess I'm not so worried about that then. Not so worried about that. Oh, man. All right, let's see. So man, I am fucking eager to get into May, dude. I am. God, I feel like we've been waiting so long. Sounds like some Joe Rogan shit. Probably is. I'm really eager to Damn, a tomahawk steak sounds good, actually. I had steak yesterday. I love steak. I'm really eager to get into May, though, man, because, like, God, it feels like I could be wrong, but I feel like shit's going to start going down in May. You know? I feel like we talk about the calm before the storm. I feel like April has essentially been the calm before the storm. I think the shit's going to start happening in May, and I can't wait. Inject that showcase into my veins, man. But I'm also curious to hear Sony's earnings. Sony's doing their annual earnings report on May 14th, and I feel like we're going to get some pretty decent insight into their future plans. Thank you for that, Space Gambler Jr. Thank you for putting that link out there for anybody interested. It's going to be May. Yeah, it has to be. It has to be, right? How could it not be May? I hope there's an actual storm. Last year's showcase was not even a gust. Well, I was thinking about this, man. I was thinking, like, if you're Sony, let's reflect for a moment here. 2023. Last year, Sony didn't have to worry about anything, dude. I don't know if you guys remember, but every month, the PS5 was flying off the charts, and the PS5 was selling like crazy because of the pent-up demand. 2023 was the first year where there were zero shortages, and we could clearly see that Sony didn't have to lift a damn finger, and they were selling PS5s like crazy. And I think if I was Sony and I knew I have a PS5 Pro coming, remember how there were rumors last year where there's going to be a second showcase? There was like a ton of rumors claiming that Sony was going to have a second showcase and that it just like never happened. And I remember there was further speculation that maybe it got canceled at the last minute or something changed. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, it all kind of adds up, doesn't it? Like, if you're Sony, just let the PS5 sell on its own in 2023. If you don't have to do anything, don't do anything. Save everything. Save your big reveals. Save all the excitement for the PS5 Pro. And that's what I think we're going to see, man. Again, I might be getting my expectations too high, but I just have this feeling that it's like you're going to have a down earnings report. And that, I mean, to be honest, the earnings report's probably going to be down because it just seems like Sony maybe had too many expenses and shit. And, you know, maybe they put too much money in Spider-Man 2. I just think the time is now. I'm just going to be totally honest, man. Sony cannot afford to fuck up this year. They can't. They simply can't. Sony doesn't have the same type of momentum that they had in 2021, in 2022, and even 2023. The momentum has slowed down a lot. And if Sony plans on keeping the PS5 going and potentially reaching 100 plus million units, they're going to have to get behind it and push, bro. And I think it has to happen, man. I think it has to happen because think about it. Think if they have a bad showcase and they disappoint and they let people down, I think it will really hurt their sales. Like, I don't think people will just be like, oh, okay, it's fine. They have to bring the heat, man. They do. They absolutely have to. Also, because you know what else we were speculating last year as well? A lot of us were speculating that Sony was potentially holding back because of the ongoing trial with, you know, the litigation with Microsoft and Activision Blizzard. And there was just kind of speculation that maybe Sony is just not willing to go balls to the wall because that could backfire on them. You know, Sony was trying to stop the acquisition from going through. And it's worth remembering that when Sony did their showcase last year, it was in the middle of, you know, of all that shit going down. And So I guess what I'm trying to say is I think Sony had every reason in the world to essentially do the minimum last year. And I think they have every reason in the world this year to do the opposite. You know, to just come out and be like, look, we got a PS5 Pro. I mean, think about it. Think about how insane the second half of the PS5 generation is going to be. I want you to think about how many first-party teams and even partners that are ready to go, ready to fire off between now and the year 2028. I put out a total mindshare. Yeah, I remember that. Damn, total mindshare my ass. But I put out this post for my members. Give me 1 second to bring it up. I think it's worth highlighting right now. I said yesterday, I think the next 3 to 4 years of the PS5 are going to define this generation. We're looking at games like Ghost of Tsushima 2, Santa Monica's new IP, Ben's new IP, possibly a new Naughty Dog IP, Death Stranding 2, Wolverine, Blue Point's new game, another Astro game, another Guerrilla game, and the list goes on. And that's not even counting GTA 6 and a ton of other like major third-party games. I said it's kind of shocking how many of Sony's teams and partners will likely be up to bat before this generation ends. And I do think that's a pretty optimistic viewpoint of it, but yeah, dude, like this is just the reality of PlayStation right now, where there's just so much shit on the docket that they haven't said a goddamn word about. Why would they not? Why would they hold back? That's my only question is why would they hold anything back at this point? What would be the reason? There is no reason. Xbox got Activision. It's over. Like, it's over and done. They have Activision. Xbox may not be competing with their console very much, but you still want to sell your PS5. So regardless of what Xbox is doing, you gotta get behind your console and really, I think, to put it as simply as I can, Sony needs to lay out the second half, dude. That's all it is. That's what they need to do. If they fail to do that this year, I'm gonna be fucking furious. Truth, like I will be so fucking upset because it's like, Sony, you can't do that to the fan base, man. I don't care if I sound entitled. Like, they gotta lay it out. It doesn't have to be literally everything, but they have to fucking bring the heat. They do. We know. Come on, we know Sony. We know PlayStation. We know that they know how to do it. And they haven't done it in like 3 fucking years. The time has come. Like, we shouldn't have to wait another year. They got to bring the fucking heat. They got to bring NAC 3. Come on. How much longer are they going to make us wait? How long does the showcase need to be? I think an hour. I know that sounds weak, but if they pack that fucking show with, I mean, like some good shit, a 2-hour showcase. Oh, I wish, dude. That, I'm gonna be honest, Laurent, that's not happening. A 2-hour showcase, oh, I'd fucking lose my shit, bro. Oh my god, that would be amazing. You know what though? I think in the end we are gonna have like a 2-hour showcase, but I think it's gonna be split into 2. I think we're gonna get an hour-long showcase in May, and we're gonna get a second showcase in September. That's also gonna be an hour long. Yeah, that's true. That last state of play was 45 minutes, so maybe we could see like an hour and a half. To me, it's not the length of the show that matters. It's the punch that it's going to pack. That's what matters. They could make it 40 minutes, bro. And if that 40 minutes is just pure fucking, I mean, just annihilation and quality, then I won't care that it's 40 minutes. It has to pack a punch. That's what it needs to do. It needs to fucking, the impact needs to be felt. Third party to first party ratio. Great question. That's the most important question, Josh. And it's so hard to speculate on that because I want to say that the ratio of first party should be greater than what we've seen in a while. I don't think Sony, if I'm being realistic, I could see Sony bringing a solid 4 announcements from first party. But I don't know, man. Like, an Astro game is going to be announced. So that's 1. I see Ghost of Tsushima 2 getting announced. That's 2. I see Wolverine showing up. That's 3. The 4th one could be the fucking haymaker, though, dude. Like, the 4th announcement. Well, actually, yeah, Marathon will show up. Concord's supposed to. You know what, dude? Now that I'm thinking about it, the ratio should be pretty fucking high. I don't think it. I mean, a 50-50 ratio would be fucking incredible. I don't think it would be that good. A 50-50 ratio would be amazing, bro. I'm thinking at most 35-40. You know, like 35%, 40% first party ratio to to like a 60 to 65% third party. Because, yeah, I mean, you got to think about even putting the bigger games aside. Fair Games is going to have to show up. Concord's going to have to show up. Marathon's going to have to show up. But what about Sony Bend? You know, what about Santa Monica? What about Naughty Dog? What about Bluepoint? I mean, this is why I'm saying it's like, this is what I mean when I say, like, Sony's got to fucking bring the house down, dude. Because what are these teams doing? What have they been doing? Most of these teams we haven't heard from in years. I'm trying so hard to just be patient, bro. I mean, I'm extremely happy to be able to play Stellar Blade. I've still been enjoying my PS5. I still love PlayStation, man. But I feel like they have not. I feel like PlayStation and Sony, they have not really hit the mark, truly, in the way that I know they can in a couple years now. And I want to see them do it. I want to see them turn the fucking tide, bro. Because I'm not saying that they should be worried about Microsoft, because I mean, again, Microsoft is like bringing their games to PlayStation, but I just hope Sony doesn't. I still want to see Sony bring the fucking heat. That's all I'm saying. I just want to see Sony bring the heat, and not in an effort to annihilate Microsoft, but more so, I want to see Sony bring the heat to get fans excited. That's what I want to see. A 2-hour showcase would have way too much filler. Yeah, I think that would be the case. I don't want to see Sony turn their showcase into like Jeff Keighley shows where it's like you're an hour and 35 minutes in and you're like, oh my God, how is this not over? Please, God, end it, you know? What am I hoping for? Here's the one last thing moment. You know what? I'll tell you right now, you know what I think that is? I think Sony will have a one more thing moment at the end of their showcase. And I think what it's going to be is either Naughty Dog's new IP revealed or Santa Monica Studios' new IP. Think about it. Just think about it, dude. How could it not be one of those things? How could it not? Like, that would be dude, if we don't see either of these games, I'm gonna be convinced Sony has totally fucked up their studios and their development pipeline, because we should at least see one of these games. Venom. Oh, that'd be cool to see Venom. I don't know. I don't. I'm trying, man. I'm trying to be patient. I'm trying to just play it cool, but I'm so. I need to see Sony fucking turn it around, dude. They're not in a bad place right now, but it's just, we know it can be so much better, and we already know. We know. The really core PlayStation fans deep down, I think we all know what Sony's really capable of, and we're just eagerly waiting to see them get back to that fucking peak, you know? And the fact that, I keep saying, the fact that we're at the end of April, we are potentially less than 1 month away from something going down. It's hard not to get excited, dude. Like, I know that when Sony does announce their next showcase, a lot of people are going to say, don't get overly excited, man. Don't get your expectations too high. But it's like, I can't. How could I not? How could I not? You know? Anyway, this went on way longer than I expected it to. I really thought I was going to be ending my stream at like the 3-hour mark or something. But here we are. 3 hours and 45 minutes. All right, so when's the Insomniac X-Men game coming? I think that's not coming until like 2029 or something like that. I think next gen is a long stream. So here's what we're gonna do. I'll chat with you guys for about 5 more minutes. 3 to 5 more minutes. We'll do like a last call for members. You guys absolutely killed it today. We're sitting at 136 members. Again, thank you guys so much for that. So if you guys want to contribute any more before the stream wraps up, feel free to do so. I would be so pissed off, A2, if that were to happen. You're saying you're thinking that they're going to go relatively safe and maybe just show off Concord. Dude, I would fucking snap. I would snap. That would break me. Like, Sony can't play it. Why? If Sony plays it safe, I'm just gonna lose it. They can't just play it safe, bro. You know, it's like, I'm not saying you're wrong, A2. I'm just saying, like, no way. And we got Michael Wernick coming in. Michael Wernick dropping a membership gift, keeping this train going. He drops a second gift. Michael Wernick doling out some gifts here. He drops 2 gifts back to back. Really appreciate that, Michael.
Appreciate it.
Thank you for showing some more support here. He drops a third one. Is he trying to get us to 140? Because Michael brings us up to 139. Thank you, Michael. I really appreciate that support, bro. Good stuff. Good stuff. And he's doing it. Michael's doing it. He's doing it one by one. He's doing a single train himself here. He brings us to 140, guys. Michael just dropped 4 more membership gifts. Brings us to 140. It's a glitch. No, no, it's not a glitch. He straight up dropped 4 gifts there. Thank you for that, Michael. He's just going to keep doing the single train. A2, you're saying I get an MEG, but because of the Pro reveal and the 30th anniversary show, unless they combine everything in one showcase. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I kind of get where you're coming from, A2. I get where you're coming from because, like, they do have the Pro coming and they do have to save stuff for that and maybe the 30th anniversary, but still, I think they have enough to really just go crazy, truthfully. I think they have enough to just kind of fucking, you know, pop off big time at both events. But guys, Michael Wernick dropped 4 membership gifts in a row to get us to 140. So does anybody out there want to drop a 10 bomb to get us to a solid 150? Does anybody want to do it? No pressure. I'm perfectly happy with 140, bro. That's amazing. But the temptation is there. The temptation's there. Saying amazing how fast each one dropped. Yeah, that was like back to back. So reps when I feel better. Yeah, my next stream should be on Sunday. I owe you guys some reps no matter what, for sure. I just can't do it. I'm too sick to do it today. I apologize. I'm too sick for the members ons. I'm too sick to do reps. I'm all fucked up. I'm sorry. I'm just happy I was able to actually do a stream today. Truthfully, I'm feeling a little bit better, but it comes in waves. And Michael Cintron does it. Michael Cintron takes it home. He takes us to 150. He drops a 10 bomb on you guys, Michael, and everybody else today who gifted memberships.
Holy shit.
150. I really cannot express to you guys how thankful I am for that. That's an insane milestone. Means a lot. Really does. Let me get that all the way up there. Boom. Michael Cintron coming in, rounding us out. 150. Love to see it. Execute order 166. But yeah, that's good stuff, Michael. Michael Wernath, Michael Cintron. The Michaels are doing it today. Where are we at? All right, so we got like about one more minute. Good stuff, guys. Good stuff. Yeah, so would dropping the classic gray controller be an expectation as a one more thing moment? I don't think that would be like a one more thing moment, but I do think that could be an announcement. I absolutely want to see that. If Sony doesn't drop like a classic PS1 themed DualSense and covers for the PS5, I'm going to lose it. Michael Wernath is heading out now. Enjoy the draft tonight. Well, I appreciate you stopping by, man. Thanks for the support, buddy. And actually, yeah, with that being said, this will be a good point for me to end the stream as well, because I think I definitely overextended my reach a bit today. My medicine's definitely wearing off. It's weird when you're sick like this, because you have like these waves where it's like you have these bursts where like I'm feeling a little bit better, and then it's like actually I'm still feeling shitty. Maybe later on you feel a little bit better. Man, I hate nighttime when you're sick. It's so hard to fall asleep, man. It's like torture. That's why NyQuil exists. Knock your ass out. But guys, this is gonna do it for this stream. I really, again, before I head out, I just want to apologize if I sound like a broken record, but I just want to express my gratitude to this community. I never really know at times like this when things are slow and there's not a whole lot going on. I never really know what to expect. There's always a little bit of nervousness. But here you guys are coming in, absolutely massive day, sitting at 150 members and solid super chats, just solid fan funding and support overall. And so I just want to once again remind you guys that you are the sponsors of the channel. You guys make this possible. You guys make these streams possible. And without your support, I literally wouldn't be able to do them, and I wouldn't be able to continue to help build up this community and have these conversations. So thank you guys so much for that. I also want to make sure I give a big shout out to Devil Shooter for doing the timestamps. He does a great job. If you see him in the comments with the timestamps, show him some love, give him some thanks. I know he really appreciates it, and I know that the community really appreciates what he does for the channel here. So Devil Shooter, thank you so much, bud. And the very last thing I'm going to ask of you guys as you're heading out is to just hit that like button. We're sitting at 252 likes. See if we get that to like 260. Really appreciate it. And yeah, that's going to do it. I feel like I got to get some food in me and rest a little bit, because holy shit, I am drained. Got to get to 100K. Yeah, hopefully we will. I am trying to get back on the video grind. If there's anything that's going to get us up to 100K, I think it's going to be making more videos. So I'm going to try my best to keep putting out that content. So, all right, guys, that does it. The next proper stream should be on Sunday. We'll see what topics we have lined up. In the meantime, I'm going to try to at least get one more video out tomorrow and rest in between so I can get back to 100%. But all right, I hope everybody enjoys the rest of their day / evening / night, and I will catch everybody here same time, same place, Sunday. Should be hopefully a good show. And yeah, so with that being said, I'm out. Boss says goodbye. Boss is sleeping next to me. Boss says thank you as well, and he says goodbye. So until next time, guys, take care.